And now, another exciting episode of PSVG.
Welcome, Internet, to the final episode of the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy,
Tried to do that.
RIP. Been a good run.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not the final episode, just the final one for this year. We'll be back next year.
Correct.
It's all
Probably.
good. It's all good. But yeah, it's me, your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie Eat the Hype Reese, and wow, Delvin, that's a name you got there today. I saw Donnie kissing Mrs. Claus.
Yeah. Seems appropriate.
I can dig it.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I believe it. I'll allow it. So, final show of the year. How's everybody feeling?
Good. Excited to podcast. Not excited about the day. I have to report to work at 5.
Oof.
So,
Why?
yeah.
Why? Why so early?
We're decommissioning a nuclear reactor in the morning.
Excuse me?
The fuck?
Yeah.
Come again?
I don't know much.
Jack Bauer?
I don't know much about it either, but yeah. I don't even know if it's a reactor. I think it's just like a nuclear containment. No, not a bomb, but like a container. So, but yeah.
You're taking apart what James Cameron built for whatever he's doing? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, so I was like, ooh, God, 5. My boss was like, you got to go. And I didn't realize at the time, but until like Monday, I was like, oh, that's turnaround after PSVG. I actually, to this morning, I thought to myself, I was like, maybe I should just take like a really good nap in the middle of the day and just call it an all-nighter. Like, because I really don't see the point. If we go till like we normally do midnight or so, what's the point of trying to go to sleep for 3 or 4 hours?
I mean, yeah.
Might as well just get some games in, get a good shower, good breakfast, and take your ass on into work.
Yeah, especially if you gotta be there at 5. How long is your commute? How long does it take you to get into the office?
30, 40 minutes.
And that's like on a normal regular traffic day, not at 4 a.m. Okay. Yeah. Just burn the midnight oil. I'm sure you've got games to play.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about sentences you don't think you're going to hear when you jump into a podcast. I have to disarm a nuclear
Not
reactor.
me. I'm not doing.
Well, I mean, you're not, but still, like
I'm a part of the team.
He's the man in the chair.
Yeah,
He's the one
exactly. He's
Jack
going to
Bauer
oversee.
what to do.
You go over there. You handle that.
Team 1 advance. Team 2, team 1's down. Team 2, go get team 1.
He's playing XCOM.
How are you doing?
How
do you top that? You like, hey, I gotta unlock a nuclear reactor.
Do that, like Florida that. Man.
Yeah,
raise that.
I'm like, I had to clean out a crack house. That's what I did this week.
I mean, that is raising the bar.
That's not raising the bar. That's cleaning out a crack house.
It's something.
Yeah.
That's very Florida. You had to clean out a crack house today? Like legit?
Yeah.
What the
it was not fun.
I mean, it could be fun. It didn't sound like yours was fun, but like it could be fun.
Nah, as I was cleaning it out or helping with it a little bit, a giant ass rat ran past.
I was going to ask. I mean, I think we all imagine that we're talking the end of the crack house life cycle, the post eviction, devoidness. Yeah.
Yeah. Giant ass rat ran by looking like Master Splinter. I can explain what happened. See, we were managing this property. We still do manage the property. And what happened was the person years ago died in the property. And they told us, well, we got to get the person out.
Do you own the property?
No, we just manage it.
So somebody owns it. They pay you to collect
the rent and do maintenance and repairs.
Okay, so you're also okay. I got you.
Yes, that's why henceforth
he's
I'm
the
in the crack
super.
house.
Yeah.
So they get the person out who passed away in the house, right? They get an estimate originally. This was years ago. They get an estimate for the place to get it repaired and stuff like that. The person was a hoarder. So the original estimate to get this place repaired was $13,000.
Excuse me.
So the owner was like, "Fuck that. We'll just let it sit there. We're
Now,
not paying 13." Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but letting it sit there means it's going to get worse, which means it's going to cost more to repair.
To repair, yes, but the valuation of the property could go up. I bet it has.
And that's what happened to get to that. So now this year, well, like earlier this week, the owner called me, was like, "Hey, when was the last time you checked on that place?" I'm like, "It's been a while, because you said don't even bother." So he said, "Go check on it today." So I drive to the place. It's early in the morning. It's like 7 a.m. I go to the door. And as I go to the door, you hear like rumblings and shit like that. And it's clearly not a rat. It's clearly like a person in there. I'm like, "Hey, what
Squatters.
you doing in there?" "Oh, I'm not supposed to be in there?" "No, get the fuck out."
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
I always love the audacity of the convicted man. It's so. You ever see like in my TikTok algorithm feed, I've got people that like try to steal stuff, because that's like on the rise, and you'll see them get caught, and you'll see them cuss at the people that caught them for like breaking up their rights or imposing on their space.
Yes, that's usually how it happens.
You're the criminal here.
It's the George Costanza defense. It's not a lie if you believe it.
I've had that happen to me before, and there's been situations where I was like, "Hey, this is go two ways. Either you can get the fuck out, or I can get you the fuck out." You don't want the latter, and usually they listen. This guy was cool. He's like,
I want a crackhead to call him out to call that bluff,
right?
You're gonna get this smoke.
They have before. They have, and it didn't turn out well for them.
It's like, Debo, you want some? No.
But yeah, when I went inside, I have pictures. I should send you guys the pictures. The place is a fucking mess.
Ew.
There's like a hole in the roof. It's shit everywhere. It's like all the old furniture's in there. It still smells like death. So I take the pictures, send them to the owner. Owner's like, "Yeah, that's a mess." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." He's like, "Well, get somebody to clean it out, and then we see how much you fix it." So I said, "Let me see if I can find somebody to clean it out." I called my buddy. He says, "We can get all it. It's a lot of stuff in there. It's like a full house and stuff." He's like, "We can clean it all out for like $1,300.
Damn.
Now this not repairs. This is get everything out.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm not cleaning out a crack house for $1,300.
Yeah. Like, let me add the caveat, so you can understand why it's only $1,300. The guy I called is an old 60-year-old black man, clearly from the country, with his two nephews. So he's like, I'm quite sure he's paying his nephews like $100 a piece to do.
That's how you get hepatitis.
Yeah,
I'm good.
He's not.
Rest.
His nephews are. He ain't cleaning nothing. He's the guy in the chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Strike team 1. Strike team 2. Strike team 1's down. Go retrieve strike team 1.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
So they started the day, and during the middle of it, they had got stuck on a couple of things, including like there was a whole ass scooter in there that they couldn't move out of the place because it was all just locked up. So I had to come over there and help with the scooter. Note, I usually on Wednesdays I get off early, and I had to go help get this shit done. and take pictures and stuff to send to them like, hey, the place is cleaned out now. Now you have to get somebody to repair the place. But it was a fucking mess. It was like a whole, it was, trying to think, it was like full, it was a king size bed in there. It was, what are them shits called? A deep fridge in there that was just completely like, smelled like death. There was still shit in there.
See, I know this life. I grew up in this life. When you say the fridge, like I know the smell. Like, I'm smelling the fridge. I know that smell.
It's like the person, I guess, when the person died in the place, nobody bothered to get anything out of it, anything like that. So all the stuff is still in there.
Wow.
Then add into the fact that
it's been sitting there for years.
Then add into the fact at one point in time, it was a crack house, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still like remnants of that there. Like, like.
And you said there was a rat.
Giant rat like Master Splinter.
Rodent infestation and all that goes with that.
Which means there's one rat, there's usually more.
Yes. And it's probably some turtles and shit like that.
Oh, that would be a new one. A turtle? That's a new one for me. What is that? A
he said it's Master Splinter, so
people get turtles?
Yeah.
Turtles, gators.
But
Jesus Christ.
We finally got it cleared out. It was like it was a fucking mess. One of the weirdest things about it, I thought, was there was diapers in there. Like not like Huggies diapers. Like
it doesn't even sound like a property that'd be worth paying for somebody to manage, to be honest with you.
It doesn't, but we manage a lot of properties for this person. So it adds up.
I gotcha.
And plus
part of the bundle.
And plus the way the economy is going down here, when he originally rented that place, he was renting it for like $600. That place, once it's fixed up, is probably gonna go for $2,000 a month.
Jesus.
Nice. Yep.
Because that's how
inflated
and how ridiculous our rent is right now.
That's everywhere, man. It just makes no sense. How do you expect people to afford that? Like, wages ain't going up. How the hell are you supposed to afford that kind of rent in a place that used to be $600? Like, it's just insane.
Yeah, and it looks like a place that used to be $600. It's not like it's anything spectacular. It's not like it's in an amazing neighborhood or anything like that. It's just like, oh, well, that's what the rent is now in this area for a 2-bedroom.
That's just asinine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a fucking mess today. I played some games. I don't play 2 games. I played God of War, of course. I'm trying to finish that one up. I'm still loving that. Game's fucking amazing. And I'm playing Crisis Core. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core.
Can you just pick one? Can you stick with God of War and finish it, please?
No.
Yeah, he's been playing God of War for a month in between playing other things.
But I love, Final Fantasy Crisis Core is my favorite PSP game. So when they
is that like a good thing?
It's a PSP game. You've played it already. We can get back to that. It's Ragnarok time, sir.
No.
The best of the worst.
Final Fantasy doesn't wait for no man.
Yeah,
the thing about it is, what I like about it is, it looks like they remastered it and used the Final Fantasy VII engine.
Yeah,
and it's great, which is weird because the cutscenes are clearly the PSP cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awful. They didn't.
Yeah, I did read that. They didn't really. They didn't redo the cutscenes.
Damn.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Which is weird because
some folks don't do that, but like this is a full price remaster, right?
Yeah.
No,
the in-game cutscenes. I think it's 60. Yeah, I think it's like $60. Was it 60 or 50?
I'm pretty sure it's 50.
I don't remember now.
You probably bought the deluxe version.
The Travis Strikes Again
use
the same cutscenes, or not Travis Strikes Again, but the No More Heroes remasters, but they're $15. It's like that you don't really care too much about. And plus, with a game like that, it's not known for its production. So I think a lot of people, like me, I'd kind of prefer it like it's like the cutscenes. I think are kind of cool, like in their kind of grungy state. But with a game like Final Fantasy, that's what people expect. Like that's why they're there. So,
but is it the cutscenes that originally were imagined for PSP, or the ones that actually came to PSP?
This is the thing. They have the in-game cutscenes, which look fantastic because they're still in that Final Fantasy VII Remake engine. Those look great. But then you have the cutscenes from the original game that they kind of just up-res. So it looks
Mhm.
okay, but you can tell they're like, all right, this doesn't look as good as the stuff we've seen before.
Doesn't look as like game.
Yeah. So it's a little jarring to see that, but overall, the game actually plays better. They added a whole bunch of new stuff to the game to kind of make it modernize it. So it plays a lot more like Final Fantasy VII. They still have the I forgot what you. It's like the slot machine system when as you're fighting, you'll see these little slots at the top of the screen, and it gives you kind of stat boost or it gives you your limit breaks and stuff like that. But the game is still a blast. I still love the story of it. It's one of the best Final Fantasy stories there is, and I will say my only problem with this game is. Go ahead, Gav.
I was gonna say, did they change the story at all, like the way they did for remake?
Not yet. No, not from what I've seen thus far. It's still the same story. But I think based off of what it's called, I think there's going to be a change in the story around that part. I don't want to spoil it, but if you know what I'm talking about, if you play Final Fantasy VII Remake, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can say about this game is actually like the only bad thing is the voice acting is atrocious.
Is it the same voice acting as from PSP?
No, they apparently. I asked my son. He said they changed it, and it's like really bad. It's like it's not even like bad anime bad. It's like, hi Zach, how are you doing?
Oh,
I'm doing fine. We have to go find Sephiroth. I'm like, the fuck are you guys doing? Who did this? It's
Is
just
there
so
a Japanese check instead? Can you play in Japanese?
You know what? I'm actually considering that now that you mentioned it. There is a Japanese
I thought most people
check.
did that anyway. Is that not
I
the
never
case?
do that.
I didn't do that. I do that for my anime, but I didn't do it for like remake because they weren't voiced.
I thought people
before.
just did that for like JRPGs in general. As you play the Japanese voices with subtitles.
I mean,
Usually
I would. Like that's how I play Ghost of Tsushima.
Right.
I played that completely in Japanese.
Not people that did Dragon Quest and like all that kind of
Quest,
stuff.
so
No,
I
okay.
can't call it. I don't play Dragon Quest, so I can't call it.
It makes sense, but I don't do it for those.
Okay.
Because it's usually like not bad. It's usually decent.
Yeah.
But this is noticeably bad.
Mm.
It's like, oh, maybe I should just cut you off.
You should and go back to Ragnarok.
God, yeah, and like you. This is one of multiple instances where you told us you stopped playing a game that you love. Apparently, you're like, I love it. It's great. It's amazing. To play something that's not nearly as good.
Well, to be clear,
you've played this before.
I didn't stop playing Ragnarok. I'm playing both.
No, you have to stop playing Ragnarok to play the other game.
You can't
play them at the same time.
So what I'm doing is I'm playing.
Although I'm sure there's a Twitch streamer that has.
It wouldn't surprise
me. I mean, technically, you could. I guess you could try.
I would do that.
We need 2 PS5s.
Well, I have 2 technically.
We know that.
But I'm enjoying it. I think playing this and Ragnarok together is a good contrast to each other because, like, Ragnarok is a big story-based game, and this is an RPG, a single-player RPG, where you don't have a party with you. So that's great. You're just by yourself doing the kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. I still plays like I remember it playing, and they kind of, like I said, the things that the PSP version problem they had, when they kind of fixed, so it plays a lot better and a lot more smoother. So yeah, I definitely love it.
Well, I'm glad that you are loving Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion. I'll play it eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you like Final Fantasy VII Remake, you'll probably like
don't.
This one.
Well, I played this one. I played this on PSP as well, so I mean I know the story. It's just again, I've played it, and Ragnarok is here, so that's what gets all the attention.
I am 15 hours in Ragnarok now, I think.
You're nowhere.
It's still great. I'm loving it. It's such a great story.
I mean, he claimed it Game of the Year after like apparently an hour.
Yeah, that's all he needed. And then he's like decided he wasn't going to play any more of it.
Yeah, it was best game, and he was like, "Now I'm gonna go play one of the Dark Picture games."
Yeah.
It's like I came here, I saw it, Game of the Year. Now I'm gonna go play.
Still playing it.
7 other games.
I'm not playing 7. I just played Dark Pictures. It takes a day to beat, which I did, because I want to finish some games before the year ends out.
You can finish God of War.
I'm definitely gonna finish God of War when the
Are
year
you?
goes out.
Is that a
Are
definite?
you? I don't think you
Is
are.
that definitive?
That is definitive.
Definitive.
I don't believe it.
definitive.
He's got
The
what?
way he's been
15
going,
days. Definitively, he will have beaten God of War in 15 days.
I don't believe it.
Yes. 15 days, I'll be finished with it easily.
You hear that, Haley?
Because I don't.
Mark that down.
I'll tell you why. Because I have no podcast to do now. This is the last podcast I'm doing for the year.
Yep.
And it's because, and see, usually I don't do no podcast in December, but because I love you guys, I said I'm gonna do.
Because we shamed you into oblivion last year.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Which was
Just
that
week
bullshit. I said,
after
nah,
week after week.
like, hell,
Mhm.
you should be here. No. Like I enjoy doing this show, so I said I'll do it to the end, till they leave.
So January 4th, Delvin will have beaten God of War.
Kyle
Yes.
understood the assignment.
Easily.
You've been
Thank
clipped.
you, Kyle. Good job, sir. We'll see
Better
what
see
happens.
those trophies. Better get to
I
work.
don't believe him. Yeah. So I too have been playing God of War Ragnarok, but I've actually been playing it. I'm about 50 hours in. I think I'm close to the end of the game now, like story wise. I've been doing a lot of the side stuff. Just came to a point in the story where just unexpected shenanigans happened. I was like, oh. My wife looked over at me like I was crazy because I was just like so shook by what happened in the story. But man, it's really good. It's really like emotional. So it's really pulling me in. And the combat is great. I keep doing all the different side stuff, trying to get all the side stories. I'm actually done so much of the side stuff to the point where like Mimir is not talking. Like there's just nothing else for him to say at this point. So I'm really, really, really digging it and just trying to clean up all this side stuff so I can get that platinum. So I think I'm actually going to go for the plat on this. And I'm not playing anything else at this point because I just don't have the time to play anything else.
Sure.
I might not finish it by the end of the year because when I leave to go to Houston next week, I'm not taking my PlayStation. So I'll be gone for a while. And not
How
playing
could you?
games.
You know, like set
I've
that up
done
with a private jet or
I've done that several times, you know.
it's like freight.
I lived that life.
Like a tractor trailer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, I
Like
ship it
wide
freight. I put
load.
it in a freight and I get it shipped.
Wide
So
load.
it's just there when I get there. It's great.
Just a trailer. I can imagine it'd be tough.
Yeah.
It's got to be rather
But
difficult.
it can be done if you're dedicated enough. It can happen. What in the world?
The hell is that?
A Challenger approaches.
Is that the Babadook?
Oh my God. You're alive, Justin?
Merry
I'm
Christmas.
alive.
Oh my goodness. We have been visited by the ghost of XP past.
Yeah.
Someone had to put Elvin in his place. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the tag of the show.
Yeah.
Boot him
Yeah,
off the
that
goddamn
really
show.
is what
That's
it
what we
is.
You're
Oh, you're off the
getting
show.
muted tonight. You're getting muted tonight, buddy.
God damn.
Along
day
comes
you're
a
gonna
new
see-
challenger.
If he could join us since it's our last show of the year, I was like, hey, can you just pop in for a little while? You may have to go early, but I was like, that's fine. We're just
Yeah.
happy to see you again. How you been, man?
It's been a year. I mean, it's been a 6
Another
months
one.
for me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I just living the dream. You know, had some stuff happen this year, but no, I'm good, man. I'm happy, healthy. You know, all that
That's
stuff.
good.
So miss you guys,
Yeah, you were
There it is,
certainly
too,
missed.
man.
You're definitely in the Discord.
except for you, Dylan.
Yeah. On brand.
Yeah.
We can keep this party going. Are you two loving, enjoying everything that is God of War?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm like 14 hours in. So I still got probably only halfway through right now. But I'm doing a lot of the side content or the additional content. Yeah, I mean that game's right up my alley. Like I absolutely love it.
Nice.
Single player.
Unlike Delvin.
Yeah, really good story.
Did you stop to play Crisis Core?
No,
Did you stop to play the Dark Pictures anthology game?
No, no, not that. Crisis Core will be. I'm thinking about getting it on Switch. Actually, I think that's more likely where I'll get it finished. So if I have it on
Makes
Switch,
sense.
even though I'm a little upset, I haven't seen any reviews talk about what the performance on Switch yet, other than I've heard it's
It can't be
720p
good.
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take
It'll
it.
give you the
I'm-
PSP experience.
Yes, there we go. That's all I'm looking for.
You
Can't
here's the
get it
thing.
anywhere else.
You won't notice the cutscenes, apparently, according to Delvin. You'll just be like, "This is what the Switch does.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
This is just the Switch. It won't look any different when you switch from gameplay to cutscene. It look the same."
Yeah.
That's
You'd
a
never
good
notice.
point. There's a plus to playing on the Switch, I guess. So no, I've been all God of War lately, Call of Duty, and then yeah, I'll definitely be jumping into Crisis Core. So
Nice.
gotta get ready. I gotta prepare. I mean, I gotta play Crisis Core. Probably gotta play
Do you
the
have
first
to?
remake.
I don't think you have to.
I don't have to.
None of
but
that's necessary.
I will. And then we gotta do when remake part 2 comes out. You know, we
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
do another spoiler cast. We gotta do
Absolutely.
another play
Absolutely.
So yeah. So I'll
Donnie
be
won't
ready.
be there.
I'm not doing any of that. I don't even barely know what you're talking about. I was trying to think about what's remake 2. What's getting
It's the
remade?
second part of Final Fantasy VII.
Well,
Rebirth.
I can't
More
keep
of
doing
Rebirth,
that
I believe?
straight.
Gotcha. Oh,
Rebirth.
God.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll just quit the podcast that week. I'll just get off. Justin,
You'll pull,
you just take
so
my
you'll,
place.
you'll pull a Delvin? That's what's gonna happen?
I might as well. There's no reason for me to be on the podcast.
I'll just put like a solid 8 hours of podcasting in only on Final Fantasy VII content.
It can be
It's like
done.
I've
Yeah.
made my quota for the year. PSVG status reaffirmed.
Yes. That's all I'm really here for is the Final Fantasy VII content.
Oh God.
Well, you got to come for the Call of Duty content as well. I mean, I know you're a big Call of
True.
Duty guy.
True, everyone else is falling off. I'm one of the last ones still playing. I feel like.
I played a little Warzone this past week myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. Jumped in with Jack. Jack was playing, and I was like, "Pass that controller real quick."
What's Jack's preferred battle royale these days? Still Fortnite?
No, he's really off the Fortnite kick and has been for a while. It's probably Warzone.
Warzone.
Yeah. In between Pokemon, his sporadic matches of Warzone. Him and his buds. He hasn't played Fortnite in a while actually. It's been a few
I
months.
always wonder. There always. It seems like the last couple of updates have just kind of came and went on Fortnite, and no one really. Everyone's kind of meh on it. It's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Well, their last update, I think you're right, but their last update didn't it added like a bunch of Unreal Engine 5 stuff.
Yeah.
So it's got like Lumen Tech and
that.
shit in it, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Fortnite's never looked better. But yeah, Jack doesn't care about that. He was playing on Switch anyway. Like he doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit about that. But yeah, it was Warzone, and like he's been trying to get back into Halo. He's been trying to get a group to play Halo a little bit, but
Good luck.
Halo's, I mean, you know, like you see it online and stuff. You pay attention to people play Halo. They're trying to like will it back. They're trying to breathe life into it. Like
think,
they've got the shock paddles on it. Clear.
Yeah. It's chugging
because, like,
along for sure.
The Forge stuff that came out, people are making a lot of really cool stuff. Like I'm not into Halo, but like I understand like they're remaking maps from past games and stuff like that. I tagged Delvin in a post. Somebody made Bikini Bottom and playing Halo Infinite and you know Bikini Bottom and stuff. So like that stuff is finding an audience. The people that are there to build and consume that user created content, like it's starting to come back around. It's a start. It's a start of something. It's not where we want Halo to be, but it's a start.
Yeah, I know the competitive scene is still like ongoing too. So like I don't know if that breathes any life into it at all or keeps it going, the multiplayer, but like it's still active. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? What I mean, what else is up with you guys? I do listen periodically, but I can only take so much of, let's be honest, of Delvin's whack ass stories.
You get it.
Yeah.
I'll say the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Delvin's cleaning out crack houses every other week. Donnie's
Knocking people
managing
out.
teams, taking apart nuclear weapons and things. Is you know,
Yeah.
these
It's
two live a
creative
life. I am very pedestrian in comparison.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't talked. I stopped showing up very much, and Delvin's out here punching people, knocking them out. Donnie's buying cars left and right. And
Baller.
yeah, it's
That's
just I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah.
You're not punching enough people out.
I gotta be out
Not
here
buying
in the
enough
streets,
cars.
You know, yeah, I gotta be out here in the streets. I guess. I don't know.
It's my David Putty impression. Yeah, that's right.
Spot on.
That was
Wow.
I got to see my car today. Actually, I went down to the shop. Parts finally started to come in. I had
The Roadrunner.
Yeah. So we want to. I've got games to talk about, so I won't go too far off on the car talk. But the car has this thing on it that Chrysler built in the 70s to save gas, called the electronic spark controller, and it basically it's just like your timing on the fly, and it closes valves when you're driving hard and stuff, and basically takes like this V8 engine that has some power and turns it into like a 4-cylinder, and it gets crazy good gas. It's a lot of people don't know that about these cars that were built like at the dawn of the emissions time, the gas shortage. My car off the factory line got like 36 miles to the gallon.
Damn.
Right. But to do that, they throttled the horsepower to nothing. Like it drives like a pig. It's a bitch to drive. And it's a bitch to start with all that shit on it. So when my shop got it, the first thing they're like, we got to get all this shit off. Like we got to get all of this stuff off. So we can like put air back into the engine and actually let this engine be, what this engine should be. We're going to turn it back into the hot rod it's supposed to be. So I ordered new intake manifold, new valve covers, new carburetor, all that stuff. And it needs a new distributor, and it needs a new controller to bypass the controller that it has to wire into the distributor. They sent me an intake manifold, and they sent me the wrong one. They sent me an intake manifold for a Chevy 350 small block. It took like 5 days to get that one. So then I had to take it back to order another one. There was none anywhere near here. So it came from Michigan, and it took like 7 days for it to come. So it finally arrived yesterday. So finally, we have the car in the shop with the hood up, and we are actually doing stuff. So we're doing that today. That's done. I got to hear it. Cranks up right away now. Like before, we had to put some effort to even get it to crank. Like sit there and pump the gas, prime it, turn it over, hope it works. Now we just turn the key, cranks right up. But we still got to put the new controller on it. That comes tomorrow. We're resealing the T-tops because they leak. We're resealing T-tops tomorrow. And then my valve covers haven't arrived, but I don't have to have them right now. So I'll probably take the car Friday, probably take it home. And then when my valve covers come in, probably next week, I'll take it back and we'll redo the valve covers. So basically the top of the engine, everything you see will probably be chrome. I want these Mopar aluminum ones, but they're kind of out of my price range, but we'll see. We'll see before then. But if not, it'll all be chrome. But that's an update on the car, but it's nice, man. Like I really, now that it's in the shop, more of the shop folks, like one of the shop guys, he hated the idea and he didn't like the car. And he even told me today, he's like, now that we like have it in under the lights and stuff, he's like, the more I see it, the more I'm like warming up to it. He's like, you gotta put some different wheels on it. He's like, those wheels are ugly as I was like, it's ugly on ugly. That's the whole car. It's just ugly on ugly. They just took one ugly idea after the other, and they're like, let's do it all. Let's put the whole thing in one car. But they're starting to warm. He is starting to warm to it. And then the head mechanic, he loves it. He's like, dude, this thing is fucking rad. And it sounds good. It's got a nice little growl, especially it's got dual exhaust. So It's got a nice little growl out of the dual exhaust. So yeah, it's pretty nice, man.
Are you ever going to financially recover from this? No. This would be a great time to play because I've got $30,000 in credit card debt. Because every single time I go on a do, like I just keep spend some more. Let's spend some more. I need another part. I bought an 8-track today because I did test today. The radio works. I don't have an 8-track to test the tape player, but the radio works. Mm-hmm. So I got to test to see if the 8-track doesn't work. But I'm sorry.
What did you order?
I ordered Zeppelin 4 for $7, and it came with a Blue Oyster Cult. It was a dual pack, Blue Oyster Cult and Zeppelin 4 on 8-track. And then I'll test it, and I hope it works, but I don't think it does based off the history that I've been able to grab from the vehicle. So I was talking about this with Delvin last week post show. I was gonna put a Bluetooth thing in it. They make retro style Bluetooth radios that look cool and they're new. The more I sit in the car, the more I don't want to do it, man. I don't know what it is. Like every time I get in the car, I'm like, I don't want to put some new age shit that doesn't fit in here. Like I think it's going to throw off the whole vibe for me. Even if they try to make it look old, it's not going to be old.
Right.
So I found a dude who runs a junkyard in Ohio who's got some old Mopar radios. And he told me, he's like, we pulled these from cars. He's like, we don't know if they work. He's like, but if you want them, he's like, I'll make you a deal on both of them. So I will tell you this little story because this is a little fun story. So he's got an 8-track radio that I'm going to buy from him. I hope it works. He's like, we think it works. They're like, well, we were told when we pulled it out of the car, we were told by the owner that it worked. But if it doesn't work, he's thrown in. My car came with this factory as an option. You could order this instead. A Mopar radio with a CB radio attachment.
Oh,
it came
God.
with a CB radio. And they are super rare and hard as hell to find. And he even has the handset. He's got the mic. And I was like, I basically asked him, I was like, if I wanted both, will you give them to me half? I was like, I'll buy both for half instead of buying one for full. I was like, the reason is if one doesn't work, I'll put the other one in and I'll just live with it. Right. So I'm hoping the 8-track works, but if it doesn't, I'll put the CB radio in.
Dude, that would be awesome.
I can't believe it's just so. It's very foreign to us in our age to think of a car coming with a CB radio. But then as the shop reminded me, because my lead mechanic's like 70, he was like, yeah, he's like, but you didn't have phones in 1977. He was like, we all use CB radios. He's like, we talk to our friends on CB radios. He's like, it wasn't like a standard thing in cars. He's like, but it doesn't surprise me at all. He's like, especially in Mopars, that they had a CB option. He's like, you gotta remember this all Smoking the Bandit, you know, all that shit. He was like, that was the time. And he was like, in your car, he's like, T-tops, louvers, CB radio. He's like, that's fucking wild. He's like, that's nuts. So may have a CB. May have to pick up a handle.
The Dukes of Hazzard have a CB radio in their car? Is that how they?
I never watched that show much, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I ain't never seen that shit neither, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, nothing against that. I just never did.
It seems like it would. It would make sense.
It would make sense. Yeah.
Probably. So anyway, games.
Yeah. What you been playing, Danny?
I've been playing a lot of stuff. Playing a lot of Vampire Survivors. Started playing that last week when it came out on iOS. Threw it on the ELG unit. That's an addictive little game. That's a game's a lot of fun. I understand why. Have you guys played it yet?
I have. It's good. It's really good.
What? Huh?
Of course, Delvin's played it. Delvin's played it, of course, because he has to find any excuse to not play God of War. Any excuse. Any excuse.
Did B-Mox get that from me? I think he got it from when I first got it my Steam Deck.
Didn't it come to Game Pass?
I think so.
It was a gift.
Couldn't he just have played it on Game Pass?
I got it as a gift too. Yarden bought me a copy of it on Steam. I just hadn't got to it yet.
It might have been Yarden. I have to look and see what it was. It was so long ago when I got it, but yeah, it was a gift. I didn't know what the fuck it was. He's like, this is the game everybody's playing on Steam. Like, oh,
yeah,
cool. And I played
he got it for me. He got me a copy, and I didn't play it. And then it came to iOS, and it was free to iOS and mobile. And I put it on the G Unit because why not? And that's a great game for the cloud deck.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
I had no idea it was on iOS or it was on mobile.
Yeah, I was in one of the announcements from the award show, I think, right? Or it leaked before the award show that it was coming out to mobile. But I don't know how it works on the paid version because I still haven't played it on Steam. But on the mobile version, in between games and in between runs, you can watch an ad. You can watch an ad to
get a revive.
To revive, and you can watch an ad to get a gold boost. So you watch like 2 30-minute commercials every game. And I was like, that's fine.
30-minute
seconds,
commercials?
30 seconds, sorry,
okay, I was going to say, good God.
30 seconds. So I was playing that. It's a lot of fun. And then I was in a Diablo mood, and I played Diablo 2 Resurrected, and that's good time. I don't need to go too far in depth in that. But the thing I'll say about that is that when it came out, I heard a lot of really bad things. And I don't know if it's been fixed. I don't know if I just don't know enough. That's probably the case. But I played it for about 4 hours the other day because I woke up incredibly early because Melissa basically had the flu this past weekend. And I had to go get her prescription and everything. So I was up at like 5 and I wanted to play something. And it just played like just more Diablo to me. I was like, yeah, this is Diablo. And I was just happy I could play on a controller. I was just like, great, Diablo on a controller. Look at that. Fancy that. So I had a bunch of that. But the game that I've been playing, the game that I actually want to talk about, is I have played and beaten Callisto Protocol. And I fucking love it. I thought the game was great. Has anybody played it yet?
I haven't. I haven't played it yet.
That'd be the next game he puts down.
Really? Really?
Hold on.
You stopped and played Crisis Core, but not Callisto?
Let me.
You've already played Crisis Core. You could have had a new experience.
This really bothers Dev.
Delvin, this is
It bothers me so much.
This is the only choice you.
I love the fact that everybody else here can play multiple games, but I gotta sit my black ass and play one goddamn game at a time like a fucking invalid. Fuck all you guys. I play what the fuck I want to play this goddamn podcast.
You just keep choosing to play trash. Like, that's the thing.
How do you know it's trash?
Did you not say the devil's whatever it's called was trash?
Devil's Advocate?
Devil's Advocate. No.
Whatever it's called, you said it was trash, right?
No, it wasn't trash. It was mid. It wasn't trash.
Delvin, you said it was trash.
Wasn't trash. No, I said it was mid.
Then you played Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, which
is
played
definitely
before.
not trash.
You've played it before. It's a mobile game. You know what we're getting into here.
It is a remaster/remake of a great
You got this Callisto Protocol, which is like a new experience, something different that you could have experienced. You chose not to. You went back to the old and busted. And also didn't play God of War.
I'm playing God of War.
Disappointed.
Are you though?
Yes.
So Callisto. This is an interesting game. We all know, or do we know? I don't know if we mean maybe we don't all know. I felt like we all know like its review cycle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
It almost lost me points. I'm very pissed.
Yeah. And I don't talk about reviews, but I feel like it must be brought up because the reviews were apparently pretty hard on this one, and I'm not. So at least it gives me a good foil to kind of say my piece on it. But I dug the shit out of the game. Now, for just to be forthright, I waited to play it like 10, 12 days after release, because on day one, apparently PC was just broken as like the shaders and what is it, DX12, just all a mess. And I was like, I don't want any part of that. And I didn't return it.
Pretty standard for all PC releases.
That is, especially with 12. Call of Duty was the same way. Like, so I waited, and it's still getting just hella updates. You got an update like day 2, day 4, day 5, day 6. And there was an update last week that people covered it. They were like, it's mostly fixed now. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to go and give it a try to play. And I was a little hesitant because some of the feedback that I had heard from our friends really made it sound like something I wouldn't really enjoy for combat reasons and things like that. And having played it, I probably, if you had told me that last week, you'd be like, this isn't a game for you, I'd probably agree. I really don't think it's a game for me, but it didn't stop me from loving it. I really did. Like, one of my favorite games of the year. Liked it. Like, it's very high on my list. I'll start with just the best positives. The video graphics are incredible. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen. I mean, it is just eye candy everywhere. It sets the perfect tone, like that ambience, that Promethean alien world, right? Where you're in space and you're in this foreign thing, and you've got all these different like surfaces, and it's very industrial and steel and wires and spark. Like, it's got that and then some. It looks incredible. But the combat is going to be the thing that really bothers most people, I think. And I don't know if it's for everybody. Hang on, I wrote a couple notes down, so I have notes.
Delvin Jr. is playing it right now too. Well, he finished it already. He's
nice.
about the combat. He's not a fan of the combat.
It's hard. I'm not even gonna act and be ashamed to admit to you, I beat the game on easy. I dropped it down to the easiest difficulty. It's tough.
Boo.
I'm glad you said that.
It still is. Here's the thing. I still wouldn't tell you it's easy. Like I'm playing it on easy doesn't mean it's easy. It's not easy. It's not an easy game.
He said the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I heard him multiple times in this room getting ready to say curse words.
It's tough. But here's the thing. If you like, I want to say like a Souls game, like Elden Ring, or maybe even a Ghost of Tsushima, if you want a game that has melee combat that's very deliberate, that asks you to learn it instead of just smashing buttons, because smashing buttons will get you fucked up in this game. You will die real quick. This game, you've got to. So I think Haley's already detailed this, but I'll just for the listeners, this game has a pretty developed dodge system. So when these lurker creatures, clickers, whatever, come at you to attack you, they're going to throw hands, and basically you hold the stick, the left stick, in a direction away from them, right? So if they swing at your right, you hold to the left, and your character leans left, and they swipe by you. And then they swing the other hand, and you hold to the right. And it's almost like this boxing type of thing. It's like this head movement, like this fight night thing. Yeah, where you're doing that. You can lean backwards and block, and you can level that block up to where if you do that and you time it correctly, the block becomes an attack. And then if you keep upgrading your system, there's a lot of upgrades to your weapons as you get better at weapons and you equip them, and you unlocks, you get a heavy attack. So now you've got your regular like a melee attack, and then you get your heavy attack, and your heavy attack can break the enemy's blocks. You can break their arms. Like you can hit multiple people at once. You have a shiv. There's a lot of Last of Us there. There's, especially when you don't have ammo, there's a lot. There's one level that I particularly played because you have a lot of it's probably the last third act of the game. They put you in an area that has some verticality to it, as well as lots of different rooms and stuff off to the sides of like the arena. But there's a lot of, and I'll call them clickers. They're clickers. They can't see you, but they can hear you. And if they hear you, here's the thing. It's not like the Last of Us clicker where you got to be in the same room. That ain't the thing. If they hear you, they all hear you. Like if you make noise, they'll all come after you. Like for the entire arena. Yeah. It's like, but I was basically stalking around, crouched, hopping over windows and in and out of rooms and stuff to get behind these people to shiv kill them. And as I was playing that section, I was like, I'm literally just playing like I don't know, the Resident Evil version of The Last of Us right now is like what it feels like. And the more I played it, like, and I will say at times it can feel a bit much because the combat is so involved at times, especially if you're just fighting, because there's like a middle section of the game where the storyline isn't advancing a lot. So it feels just like a lot of combat for combat's sake. And during that time, I was like, man, I'd really like to just I wish I had a little bit more ammo then. I could just blow people away with a shotgun, because I don't want to just do this the whole time. But that never took away from the fun that I was having. And I will say by the end of the game, I felt like it just became second nature. I'm just flipping the stick, dodge, like, and you can combo those mechanics together. So you can dodge, hit with your attack, hit with your heavy attack. You'll knock the dude down. Then like this target pops up like on a weak spot, pull out your gun and shoot it for an easy kill. So it all kind of compounds and builds as you go throughout the game. And I just thought it was great. Like, I think it's there is no horror game that I've played that has a combat system half as good.
Let me ask you a question. Because I wanted to ask Delvin Jr. this question, but he hasn't played Dead Space. So do you prefer the combat in Dead Space where you kind of like have to shoot off limbs and stuff like that? Or
no.
You prefer the combat in this?
This one? Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
But that might just be more of me being more of a fan of Melee. The thing that I really like about the dodge mechanic, and the whole game is kind of this way, but the dodge mechanic, I think, really puts an emphasis on it. The whole game, the camera is zoomed in very close to your character, and it adds a lot to like the tension and the scariness of the game because you really can't see around you. Your periphery is very limited. But when you dodge, when the enemy throws at you, and you dodge, it like zooms in and it's very cinematic, and it's just really cool because you're like, whoa, shit. And I remember the first time I did it, I think I was kind of like, whoa, like, I didn't expect that because I don't think I've ever really played a game like this in terms of like how it presents to the player. Especially in the horror games, you just kind of like roll, swing wildly until the enemy's dead. Like every horror game.
Tank controls.
Yeah. You think Resident Evil, I think The Last of Us has pretty good combat, but I mean it's still very much like the same kind of formula. Yeah, I think this is very deliberate. But it is tough. A lot of times there were several times where I felt overwhelmed, especially kind of in the middle to the late end, and that's where I dropped the difficulty. And to be honest with you, I don't think it really changed. The game never felt like easier. I felt like maybe I just had a little bit more ammo, or maybe I had a little bit more reaction time. I don't feel like there was
they probably did the reaction time where you have a longer window to dodge and parry. Yeah.
I don't think there was a you have less enemies or they're easier now. Like it didn't feel that way. I still had to know what I would still die. Like that way, I still died even though I dropped it. So those are the good things. I really liked it. I think that dodge thing, will bother a lot. Some people, I don't think everybody will like that. Like I said, if it's not for you, it's not for you.
You just sold me on it. I'm very excited.
It's very good.
How long did it take you to beat the game?
It took me 12 hours to beat.
I can see a mechanic like that. Like if it is a 20-hour game, then
wearing out its welcome. Yeah.
And how often are you gonna be able to step away from that game, then jump back in and
true
have that all there?
I played it straight through.
Which I
just so that that's how much I liked it. I played it for the first night for 4 hours, and I was like, "This is great." I played it for the next night for 4 hours. I was like, "It's still great." And I played it the next night for 4 hours and beat it.
And I feel like the review cycle was like a little bit negative on the how short the game was, but like if
I saw
12 or it maybe the lags a little bit in the middle with that.
Haley's saying 10. I saw people say 6 or 7. I don't know about them. Like I was trying to find collectibles and going down pathways and stuff, like if they're just like trying to run towards the end. One of the things I wanted to shout out, because I was thinking there's several sections that made me think about this, and I think I said similar things about Kenna. I want to throw a shout out, a little love here to the studio in their linear level design. And a lot of times I think people, when they hear linear games, they think of it as like having a negative connotation, especially in our era as we've come up in the rise of the open world. Like the open world has always been basically contrasted against the linear. And a lot of times I think a lot of times reviewers have almost conditioned fans to think that like one is good and one is not bad, or like one is bad or not as good. This game has a lot of different pathways and things that you can go to explore. And I never felt like there were times where I felt lost. And then if I just kind of kept walking forward, I would just find my way. And I think that's really good level design. And it definitely reminds me of Kenna, where there's different things you could go, but if you just start going, like it all kind of leads you back to where you're supposed to be going anyway. So once I just kind of realized that, I was like, oh, well, I'll just keep walking around, and I never really pay much attention to it. Because they'll drop you in arenas where they'll literally give you multiple different hallways. Like you can go that way, you can go this way. There's a ladder, you can go up there. And I was like, oh man, am I going to be doing like backtracking? Do I've got to go back? And I never really encountered much of any of that. I would pick one way and it would just kind of end up on the round. I would either end up right back around and be like a loop, or they would all kind of funnel into the same place. And I think that's like I want to say that might be like a lost art in video games, because I've definitely experienced like bad linear design where I literally was like, now I don't know where to go. Like, do I go backwards? Do I go forward? Am I missing something? I never really felt like I had that here.
That's good.
The game is just, I don't want to turn my thing into about reviews, but I want to say something just about reviews in general. And this might just be more ammunition for me just largely saying this is why I don't like reviews. Or if I stopped liking reviews, I mean, Dev got me off the review kick years ago.
Hey,
It's
babe,
been a thing.
join me.
So I don't do reviews anymore, but I also feel like when I talk about them, I give them some power and I don't even really want to. But for this game, I think it's warranted. A lot of the reviews compared this game to Dead Space, and I think that's fair. They're former developers from Dead Space. It's definitely been marketed like Dead Space. It's been, a revival of Dead Space. It's not Dead Space, and that may bother some people. I think it's better than Dead Space, or at least what Dead Space was. I don't put Dead Space on this pedestal of like it can never be better. I'm hoping the Dead Space remake is better. I would hope that it is. It should be a bigger budget and a bigger team. We're talking about EA, and we're talking about a brand new team.
Yeah.
This game from this studios, and they're called Strike Distance Studios. This is their first game, and it looks and feels like a AAA first-party game. I think a lot of PlayStation fans would feel right at home with a game like this. And I'm like, Xbox would kill to make a game like this. Like, it is quality-wise, it is on par with like God of War. And this is their first game. So I will definitely be keeping my ear to the ground and wondering if, does somebody partner up with them? Are they an acquisition target? I mean, because this is just really, really good. And this is the thing that I remember, because whether I like them or not, it's hard not to see the buzz. You see the headlines, you see the tweets, you see people react to the tweets, you see people talk about and cancel their orders and stuff. It is so hard for me to see how, because this game isn't or wasn't better than Dead Space was, however long ago, however you want to put it, this game is way better than most
console generations ago. Like,
well, this game is just better than most games. It's just better than most games, period. Like, objectively, like look design, sound design. Oh my God, the game is, I never felt like it's like, I am probably at an age where I can't be scared. Like, I'm not going to play a game that actually scares me, but there's definitely tension. And the sound design plays a really good part to that. These monsters that you encounter will pop out of fucking vents and out of the floor, and they'll come out of the screen. Like I said, you don't have like a lot of vision, and you don't have a very fast character. You're going to be doing a lot of plotting. You kind of got like that Gears of War trot. You kind of have that like brute, like kind of like shoulder half jog, you can't move around quick. You can't spin the camera very fast. And I think that all adds to the experience. And I think they nailed it. Like that Promethean alien. It's kind of like story-wise, it's not as detailed, but it's kind of like Horizon-ish. Maybe if you took like Horizon and slammed it with Resident Evil, like you kind of have this game. And I thought the story, while not like surprising and like in a twisting way, I really liked the characters by the end, and I thought the end was awesome. And I hope they do another one. So
if you look at the reviews, a lot of like the smaller individual reviewers are high on it, where all the big review sites seem to be real down on it because it's not Dead Space. Like, if you look at the smaller people, are talking about the design of the game, the way it embraces itself instead of trying to be something it's not. And I think a lot of times everybody wants it to be the next thing instead of letting it just be what it is and stand upon its own legs instead of trying to copycat or be Dead Space. Like, stop reviewing it as Dead Space, review it as the Callisto Protocol and what it does well, what it doesn't do well, instead of trying to compare it to so many other things.
This is my favorite horror game in years.
Yeah. Everything that I've seen, the reviews that I have read, it sounds like it's a really good, really fun game for what it is. It's not some super long, ridiculous game. This is a nice crafted experience, a nice crafted game.
Since at least Resident Evil 7. And I think I like this one better than that. This is my favorite horror game in years. This is fantastic. I loved it. And I hope the patches keep coming. It desperately needs DLSS. I will talk, I don't want to just heap praise on it. It's still rough. It's still a little rocky. My frame rate was dipping, and when it gets real crazy or when they're loading in stuff, frame rate goes all over the place. It needs DLSS.
PC gaming.
It needs DLSS in the worst way. I could drop it down, but I didn't want to turn off the eye candy. Like, I could have dropped it down and probably improved it, but I don't. Like, you want that smoke, I'm telling you. So I hope they keep patching it. I hope performance improves on consoles, because this thing turned up with ray tracing on and stuff is hooey boy. I hope that's like, You know, I don't
Look,
just say
Donnie,
like next gen, but I hope this is like what more and more games look like this going
we
forward.
just
'Cause
need to
this
get you a
game is-
4090. That's what it's
I
boiling
just need
down
to
to.
upgrade.
We need to get you a 4090. Like, let's stop
No.
playing. Let's stop
DLSS
beating
would
around
have
the bush.
made it great.
Let's get you a 4090.
I was 4K 60 most of the time, except it seemed like when the environment loaded, you would see either the shaders compile or you'd see like the load come through the frames. So every now and again you'd see that. And then when it got a little hectic, I would dip down to like maybe 50, 48, something like that. But mostly
40,
mostly
90.
a smooth experience. DLSS would have made it an incredible experience, but mostly a smooth experience. There are a lot of the old school level design where you sneak through cracks in the wall or hit a ladder. You know, you're going to do a lot of that. So if you hate that in games, I don't know why some people do. I don't know why. It's just
There's
a part
so
of
much
game
of that
design.
in God of War.
Right. They're
Like,
just games. It's just how
it's
games
just-
like
it is
there's
what it
certain
is.
games that have it. Some games don't, but that doesn't mean the games that don't are better. Like they're just a part of how people make games. I think this should be said to people. There are a lot of jump scares. Some of them are great. Some of them I was like, oh, you know, not scared but surprised. Some of them are bad, and there are a lot of like. There is one particular jump scare that they just put there's just way too much of it in the game. You're going to see it a lot if you're like me and you're canvassing the entire area and you're opening every door and every crate and everything you can find. You're going to get this jump scare a lot, and it definitely wears out its welcome by the end. So there's good and bad jump scares. Some of them I would say are cheap. I don't know why people don't like jump scares. It feels like a 90s kid thing, like we had a bunch of jump scares in the 80s.
Scary. That's
and then
why
people are like, I don't like these anymore. I mean, it's supposed to be. I get this a lot in scary movies. You know, when I talk about Decade of Horror and stuff, you know, we get like, oh, it's just jump scares. I'm like, I like good jump scare. Are they good though? That's what matters. Is it a good jump scare or is it a bad jump scare? Because if it's good, then it's good.
Look, all jump scares make me jump, so they do their job. I will toss
The
my controller.
worst is the audio logs. They've got audio logs you can collect, and you can listen to these characters kind of give you background on what's happening in the story. Except when you pick them up, they don't play. You have to pause the game, go into a menu, and then play them. And you can't close the menu and listen to them. You literally have to sit there in the menu. So I listened to maybe a quarter of them.
How have we not? I mean,
I don't know.
BioShock Infinite. You
Yeah.
picked up an audio log and it played as you continued to play. How have we not been able to just keep that going?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
makes
and
no
it's
sense.
really gory. Real
Good.
bloody. Yeah.
It should be.
Expected.
Real bloody. It's good stuff, man. I dig it.
Delvin, just
dig it
send
a
me your
lot.
copy. You're not going to play it.
It's real
fine.
good. It's real
Nah,
good.
son.
I hope you like it. I tweeted about it and Sean was like, maybe I'll have to give it a try. And I hope I'm not leading people. I don't think this is a game for everybody. And like I said, if somebody else had played it, if you had told me this isn't a Donnie game, I actually would agree with you. I don't think I play many games like this, but for probably a bunch of different reasons, this one fit for me. Like it worked for me.
Well, do you think it's a good sign that maybe you need to get out your comfort zone once in a while, try something different?
I mean, I would always play something. Like there are certain things I'm not going to play Final Fantasy or Elden Ring, but don't make the mistake in thinking I never have. I've tried to play Dark Souls and I've tried to play Final Fantasy and I didn't like them. That's why I don't play them anymore. Right. But I'm always open to try something. I pre-ordered the game for a reason. I like horror games and I like Dead Space. So I was like, yeah, I'm all in on this. And it looked good. And I'm here to tell you, I mean, boy, does it look good. Like that's a big win for me. I love a good, pretty game. And this game does that and then some.
I feel like Donnie does a good job of trying pretty much everything except for Final Fantasy. He's sworn that off more out of spite than anything else. But he'll try.
I'm scared I'd like it. At this point, the remake, I think the remake looks dope. I've always told you that, and I'm scared that I'll like it. Because then what world? That would be a whole new plane of existence for me. I don't know. Yeah,
I'd never let you live it down. That's for damn sure.
Can't let that happen. Nope. So,
well, this has been a fun game-filled conversation. But Donnie, it's time for some news.
We're gonna start the news by answering your question.
Would you rather punch a baby in the face, but no one ever knows that you punched that baby in the face, or never punch a baby in the face, but everyone thinks you punched a baby in the face?
I'm punching that baby in the face.
Damn.
Oh yeah, I'm team punch that baby
I am punching that baby in the face.
for sure.
For sure.
There's no doubt about it.
Dev, you're going to live your entire life with everybody you come into contact with thinking you punched a baby in the face. Or you punched one baby one time and nobody knows.
I don't care what people think, honestly.
Oh, I
Think
bet
whatever
you do.
want. I don't
No.
care.
At that level, you do. Dude, you go to work and your boss is like, hey, Dev, hey,
shithead.
punch a baby in the face?
And I just say no and keep it pushing.
No, but they think you did.
That's
and
fine.
the police comes by and they're like, we also heard he punched a baby. And now you got charges. And you're trying to get a lawyer, and they're like, we're not defending anybody who's punching babies in the face. Your wife thinks you punch a baby in the face. Your pastor thinks you punch a baby. Your son walks up to you. He's like, Dad, what is this I hear about you punching babies in the face?
I gotta say something.
Delvin has punched a baby. That's what he's about to say.
No.
It was a crack baby, though.
I was gonna say, if R. Kelly could get a fucking lawyer, Dad would have no problem getting a lawyer.
He's got money.
Yeah.
Wouldn't matter. Dad would get a lawyer.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
chat,
not-
let us know. Are you
I'm not too worried about it. I'm
team
not punching
punch?
a baby.
Well, you two need to answer.
I'm not
answer.
punching a
You can't
baby
do
in
the
the
news.
face. I'm not punching
Not
a baby in
punching
the
a baby
face.
in the face.
You can believe whatever you want. I'm not punching a
Damn.
baby in the face. I'm not too
They
worried
believe
about
shit
what
about me
you
anyway. Even
exactly.
my dad didn't, they're gonna believe it anyway.
Every time
Yeah.
you order food, your cashier's gonna be like, aren't you that guy that punches babies in the face?
Look, 9 times out of 10, when I walk into a department store, they think I'm going to rob them. So what the hell do I care? Think what you want.
Yeah,
So
pretty
they're
much.
definitely
I'm
gonna
not
think you
punching a
rob them
baby.
if they think you punch babies in the face. But get out of here.
So then my
Baby
experience would be
puncher?
no different.
No.
My experience would be the same.
I think
So
you're-
I'm
I think
going to be
you're-
okay and
I
just
think
not
you're
punch the baby in
dismissing
the
this too
face.
quickly. I don't think you
You know
realize
what?
your life would be like if everybody you knew
More
thought
and
you
more.
punched a baby in the face.
More and more that I think about it, let them think that I punched the baby in the face. You know why? 'Cause
Right.
Then they'll leave me the fuck alone. Then I
Also
have to
true.
be quiet.
I don't think that's how it's gonna work either.
I don't think you understand
You're
what it's
coming
like to be a
across-
black male in America.
You're gonna come across
Yeah.
some
People
tough
think
guy.
all kind of stuff all the time.
You're
We
gonna come
just have
across
to
some-
deal with it.
You're gonna come across some tough guy and be like, "Hey, aren't you that guy that punches baby in the face?" You can be like, "Yeah, I am." Get that ass whooped.
Then that tough guy will get the shit
You
beat out
punch
for no
babies.
reason.
Don't you punch somebody your own size?
I'll be saying, I ain't punched that baby, but you can get these hands.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to toughen that baby up. That's all I'm saying.
That,
I mean,
that tough guy gonna be
you-
on World Star getting washed. Getting
World
the shit beat out of him.
Star.
Oh,
Come to
Tara,
me if
that's
you
not.
want
See,
to with
that's
that
not any
shit.
fun. They took the fun all out of the damn question. Oh God. Womp, womp, womp. Try to have fun conversation. Hypothetical conversation about punching
Donnie,
no nameless, faceless babies.
You picked
I have
that.
it.
You knew I would side with it.
I definitely had to put that
Jesus.
on the show for you. Yeah.
Only babies
like
I'm
your
punching is
Discord
those
tomorrow.
like scary demonic babies. Those can get
That's
punched.
what I'm
in
saying.
the
What
face.
do you think?
There's punchable babies out there.
Nah.
That's true.
Just
Definitely.
just the demonic ones that are in like scary video games. They're gonna get punted though. I'm not even gonna punch them. They're getting punted.
They're punching babies.
But like an actual baby, nah.
Nah.
I love babies. Babies love me. We're friends. We get along.
I can see that. All right. Well, try to have some fun. The Game Awards happened last week. We will not
sure
run
did.
down the whole show. I'm sure every podcast that talks about games for last week has done nothing but that. But I will ask
Because
you
it's
all:
big.
did you have favorite announcement or something like that?
Ooh,
Did you enjoy the show? Like, did you watch it?
I didn't watch the whole show. I was getting my hair braided at the time, so it was just kind of
Seems like a
on.
perfect opportunity to watch the show.
Yeah, it was just
I
on my
was washing
phone.
my hair.
There were some things. There you go.
I didn't watch it. I watched everything afterwards. So I kind of missed the whole. I wish I would have because I heard it was overall good, like almost an E3 level. Yes, pretty good.
Sean Capri, we love you.
Who is, Who is y'all? No, it's not y'all. There's no y'all in this. I'm talking about assaulting babies.
Well, he's, when
At
you
least
say
just
assault too, it turns it into criminal.
No,
and I don't like
knowing my luck, I'll be the one getting in trouble for this shit. Like,
Right.
You guys
It'll
don't
definitely be
understand
us.
how
It'll
would you
definitely be
rather
us.
works. You're supposed to make people choose less of two things. It's a hypothetical, people. We're taking
Oh,
it
we
so
get
damn
it.
seriously.
and
We
then the
get
police
it.
gonna be like, Delvin, would
It's
you rather go to jail or prison? Which one?
Listen here. Listen here. I'm going to say it again. I'm Chuck Liddelling the fuck out of that baby. Okay?
that guy, baby. Oh boy.
Oh,
Nah.
wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Game Awards. Yeah.
I clearly don't
Um,
care about these Game Awards.
I'm trying to think if there was anything there that they announced that I didn't already know. Like, I knew about Jedi Survivor,
Transformers
so I'm
game.
super hyped with that already.
Multiplayer.
As somebody who's not going to play that game looked fucking awesome. That was a hell of a trailer. Like, that game looks great.
Good trailer. Go back to not hearing anything about it until it comes out, kind of thing. Like they showed what they needed to show. I'm good.
I mean, it's out in like 2 months, right? It's out in like February. No, March.
Couple months.
March.
Yeah. Death Stranding 2 was the only one that was like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was cool.
Judas. I mean, I'm a huge BioShock fan, so I'm really excited for Judas.
that one looked good.
It looked just like BioShock. It was like, all right, this is.
It did. It really did.
I need to see more.
The same engine and everything. Like, this shit looks like BioShock.
It's like a direct. It's carbon copy. There's, it's insane how close it looks to just a kind of living BioShock game. So.
Yep.
No, those were the two big announcements, or they weren't announcements. They were just new trailers. I mean, I guess technically Death Stranding 2 was not announced, but I think everyone expected it to be. So,
yeah.
I'm just all for anything Kojima, and I really liked Death Stranding. So
I did too.
I did not play more than an hour and a half of that game. I feel like I need to because it just looks so good. I didn't give it time.
Once you get into the meat and potatoes where that game is, it's really fun and it's really good. But you have to get through all that. I have to learn how to balance and walk and stuff like that.
Not that noise.
The first couple hours is pretty grinding, but then it kind of hits its stride, and then it's addictive as hell. I mean, great game. So,
Justin, are you rumbling papers or something? Is your microphone rubbing on your hoodie? Where is your microphone on your headset? Is it on the wire?
It's over here.
Are you bagging up dope while you're recording the podcast?
I gotta pay bills.
Dope man. Dope man. Dope man.
Like.
I'm getting some feedback. I think it's every time you talk. It just sounds like ruffling, like a rumbling, like a ruffling of papers or something.
That's what happens when I go away for too long. You gotta have me back more often.
Out of your game.
Yeah,
I think the BioShock game, I think Judas looked good. I didn't watch a show. I did retweet stuff that was happening during the show. While I was trying to play Forza, I tried to play Forza on PC, and it was just I was having controller nightmare, like a mess, trying to use the Xbox Game Pass for PC app. I think I'm done trying to use that app for now. So I'm just going to put Game Pass on my console. Like, I'm just like, dude, you just fuck this. I'm so tired of this. If I want to play a PC game that comes with Game Pass, I'll just buy it on Steam. It makes no sense while I'm using an Xbox controller and I have fucking issues using on the Xbox app. What was happening is my controller was acting like a mouse.
Yeah.
Oh
my god, I hate that.
Every time I move the right stick, it was like a mouse. Like I would actually see my mouse appear and my camera would go everywhere. And then I was Googling and trying to find out how to fix it, and I disabled the mouse HID compliant device and drivers or whatever. And then every time I pressed the right trigger to play Forza, and that's how you accelerate, it would act like I pressed the start button. And I was just like, I'm so fucking done with this. I have tried so long to love this launcher. Just put it in Steam.
It's
for the love of God,
garbage.
Why is it broken?
It makes no sense. It shouldn't be this bad. It should be very, very simple thing. You guys make Windows. How the hell does Game Pass Launcher not work?
So, yeah. But anyway, so while I was doing that, I was trying to retweet and stuff. And Yeah, there was a lot of games showed. I think my favorite announcement from the show was Cyberpunk DLC, Idris Elba. Like I am all
I
in
finally watched that trailer today.
all in on that. That's like the one thing, honestly. I think announcements wise, there was a lot of announcements. I didn't watch the show, but it seemed like it was good for most people. A lot of the announcements did very little for me. Like I wasn't very hyped in the totality. I don't think I'm going to be getting a lot of these games. I'm getting Last of Us on PC and Phantom City for Cyberpunk and like replaced on Game Pass. That was like kind of it for me. But Judas, I think looks great. I'll get that at some point in the future. I'm interested about the Don't Nod game.
No Diablo 4?
Huh?
No Diablo 4?
Was that there?
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that then. I don't know if I saw that trailer. Something new. I'm sure
Oh,
I was already in on
trailer with Halsey and everything.
Already in on Diablo.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, let's just keep that. Oh, you want to talk about that crime boss thing you sent me?
No, you killed it. You murdered it.
I didn't kill it. I just told you what it was.
And that killed it. So it doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned.
Did you think it was
However,
Grand Theft Auto?
I thought it was going to be something similar, like a Grand Theft Auto type game, not Payday.
If it was like you could be Danny Trejo and Michael Madsen and Grand Theft Auto, I'm like,
yes, sign me up.
Awesome.
But it's a heist game. It's a heist. No, thank you. Get that.
I saw that the moment it came out. I was like, is this just like a skin version of Payday? And that's what it seems like. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's better, but I don't think it's like a.
No, I saw gameplay.
Go forth, and it's just
no, thank you. I saw gameplay and I was like, oh, this is not at all. Why do you have all this awesome voice talent and you do nothing with it?
I have very limited energy to play multiplayer games, and I'm saving all of it for the Starship Troopers game. Like that's all I'm putting all of my multiplayer energy into that, and we'll see how far that goes.
Delvin, what did you think about the Transformers thing?
It's multiplayer, so I'm not touching it.
Damn,
it's 1 to 4 players, which means it can be multiplayer. It doesn't have to be.
Don't give a fuck.
Not doing it. Fuck that. Look like it might be cool. They got more people dead. They were like, oh, you can play this single player. No, you can't. Stop lying to me. Stop.
One of the announcements.
Stupid anthology, whatever it's called, games.
Yeah,
trash.
Pictures.
Yeah, don't play that shit.
Dark Pictures announced Zero Origin or whatever they'll call it next. They'll rip off something. They'll rip off. Well, they just rip off horror movies. What'll be the next one?
Aliens.
Alien.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's literally what the next one is.
Dark Pictures Anthology presents Spaceship Monster. That'll be the next
Spaceship Monster.
Generic ass name.
Generic ass games.
How dare you?
Damn.
How can I keep him off the show?
That was great. Flip it, Kyle. That was fantastic. One of the games announced was from Software. They have announced Armored Core coming back, Armored Core 6. When speaking to IGN, Miyazaki and Yamamura discussed some details of the game and addressed preconceptions people might have about it due to the games FromSoft has released over the past decade. Quote, "We're not making a conscious effort to try and direct it towards more Soulsborne type of gameplay. Instead," he said, the studio is focused on the core concept of Armored Core series, using the experience in developing games from the other series. I was excited. I have a soft spot in my heart for Armored Core. I remember playing on PlayStation back in the day. I haven't played one in like 20 years, I think, since my PlayStation 3. And I was excited to hear that it got announced. I wasn't surprised. I've been expecting it for a while. Apparently people have been playing this, they've been testing this for them. And I think it leaked last year on Reddit. But we didn't see any gameplay. And that's okay. That was one of the best cinematic trailers for a video game I've ever seen. That trailer was really good. Amazing. Now, a lot of people that don't play Armored Core or don't know, they may see the From Software logo and they think it's going to be hard. And I understand that. And they may see these articles and they go, oh, it's not going to be that hard. That's not true. Armored Core has always been hard. It doesn't have to be a Souls game to be hard. Armored Core has always been hard, and I expect this game will be hard as hell. it'll be really tough. Now, it'll probably have some difficulty sliders to make it easier. I don't know if I've ever even beaten an Armored Core game, but they're very like enthusiast, like hardcore games. Lots of systems, lots of upgrades, lots of currencies, very detailed. If anybody's never got into Armored Core, like mech fighter stuff. But back in the day, it was kind of like open world mech combat simulator. You know, if you ever played like some of the OG Armored Cores, those were a blast. And they do have really elaborate cutscenes and stuff like that. So I'll definitely be getting Armored Core. I don't know if I'll be getting it, you know, day one or something like that. And I expect it to be super hard, and I probably won't be able to finish it, but we'll see. Anybody else excited or looking forward to Armored Core?
No, I'm definitely excited for that. I think it's, the Soulsborne games just aren't like my style. I tried Bloodborne. I just didn't like the style of it, the melee combat. I think the Armored Core, you know, more of a shooter combat. I mean, there's still a good amount of melee from what I remember. You can like equip your robot with swords and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, and that trailer definitely got me hyped.
Yeah, no.
It's no for me, dog.
Yeah. Didn't they have Armored Core in like the arcades? Was that an arcade game or something? Or am I thinking about something totally different?
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of. I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah.
Elvin, what was so funny?
I'm laughing because every time Justin talks, it sounds like he's bagging up dope.
Oh yeah, man, it definitely.
So I'm just hearing him talking. Yeah, it's just like he's rolling up weed.
Something's like rubbing against something. Are you sure? Do your headphones have a mic on it?
They do.
Check Melon and make sure that you're mapped to the right mic. Maybe it's using your headset mic and not your mic. You don't sound bad.
No,
but
sound great.
It's pretty constant.
Yeah.
All right.
Just my fat ass rubbing in this chair, you know.
That's better. Did you just change something?
I did, yeah.
That's much better. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
We couldn't close the year without another update on the current Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard King story.
Fuck this.
I know everybody rolls their eyes and is lamenting this, and the cool thing now is to hate on it and hate on people that's covering it. And I'm going to tell you all the same thing I want to tell the internet. I'm going to keep covering it because this is the biggest story of the year and might be one of the biggest stories in video games ever. So we're going to keep covering it. So if you don't like it, that's fine. You can just go get a drink, go take a break. I'm going to read the stuff. So last week we talked about how there were rumors that Microsoft had bought a vote, that they had some sort of newfound support on the FTC. Well, that shit was completely wrong, as the FTC has sued Microsoft in an attempt to block their acquisition of Activision Blizzard in a 3-1 vote, with the Republican commissioner, Christine Wilson, being the lone vote in support of Microsoft. As Delvin pulls out a blanket and gets ready to take a nap.
That's a Snuggie, if I ever saw one. Snuggie. And Delvin's definitely a Snuggie guy.
There's a statement from the FTC, which is very interesting. Microsoft, this is quote the FTC, Microsoft decided to make several Bethesda's titles, including Starfield and Redfall, exclusives, despite assurances it had given to the European antitrust authorities that it had no incentive to withhold games from rival consoles. The EU dissents with the FTC's claims, stating Microsoft didn't make any commitments to regulators not to release exclusive content following its takeovers of ZeniMax Media. So the FTC voted to block the merger on grounds that Microsoft promised this to the EU, which they never did. I got a bunch of different quotes, but we'll speed this up a bit since nobody really cares as much as I do, apparently. Microsoft said, "We believed in giving peace a chance. We have complete confidence in our case, and we welcome the opportunity to present our case in court." Apparently, the FTC was not open to meeting with Microsoft before they voted to block the deal. The FTC did choose to file this complaint in its own administrative court, not in federal court. That's kind of a loose detail that I don't think a lot of people are picking up on. So I will tell you this. I tried to look into that, and here's what I could find. The FTC has never lost a case that they've held in their own administrative court. So it's like a stacked deck. They're gonna win their appeal. Now, that doesn't mean that the process is over. Like if the FTC administrative court blocks the deal, that doesn't mean anything. Actually, they can still close the deal. But it will mean that it will go to federal court, and then Microsoft will have to defend itself in federal court. This process of the FTC reviewing their own cases internally is actually being reviewed now by the Supreme Court as a different merger from a completely different company. Filed a case with them that went to the Supreme Court years ago, claiming that this is unconstitutional because it's bypassing due process. So there is a chance the Supreme Court will rule on this term. They could just tell the FCC you're not allowed to do that anymore. We have no idea. Nobody knows. I don't think they will, but nobody knows. The former chair of the FTC had this to say. Not that it matters, but he's a part of this, what he used to do. It's evident that the company, being Microsoft, has been making a number of concessions. If the FTC turns down Microsoft's commitments, Microsoft would likely raise them in court and say the FTC is being incorrigibly stubborn about this. And then shortly after all this news came out, Bloomberg reported that Xbox has also offered Sony, in addition to a 10-year agreement to put Call of Duty on PlayStation consoles, it's also offered Sony to be allowed to put Call of Duty in PlayStation Plus. One of the FTC's and the EU's biggest thing is having ownership of Call of Duty makes Game Pass unable to compete with. So this would be the first concession Xbox has made. Hey, we're totally open to licensing Call of Duty for PlayStation Plus. So a lot of people saw that and thought like they're going to do that for free. No, I don't think that's the deal. There are a lot of people that are like, if they're just going to give them Call of Duty, what's the point in buying? Like, nobody's giving anything. I don't think PlayStation wants to write a check that would cost for them to put Call of Duty in PlayStation Plus, let alone hand that check to Microsoft. And I don't think they want to do that. But Microsoft is saying, hey, if you're saying that it's not good for subscriptions, then we're telling you that we're open to letting them license stuff. So that's where we stand as we close out the year on this ongoing saga that has been Activision being acquired by Xbox.
It's the saga that never ends.
It truly is.
It just goes on and on, my friends.
And I'm sorry if people are tired of hearing about it. Like I said, I'm going to keep covering because I think it's important to cover. But we don't have to spend a ton of time on it. We can, just kind of get through the details and move on. Hogwarts Legacy has been delayed on last-gen versions and Nintendo Switch.
The game got booed at the Game Awards. That was funny. They booed the
game.
Did?
Really?
Yeah, they booed the game. Like, God damn.
Did not know that.
The Bardock DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has finally been dated. It launches January 13th.
Nice.
That's cool.
God of War TV series is coming to Amazon.
Didn't see that coming.
I saw that. That looks pretty cool. Interesting. I don't know how they're going to do it, but we'll see.
What do you mean you don't know how they're going to do it? Same way they did The Last of Us.
God of War.
A couple of episodes.
Going to walk around with a little kid. They're going to complain and have epic fight scenes. And they're going to talk about Norse god shit.
Let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched any of the Amazon series?
No.
Yes.
I haven't.
I have.
Not since like Man.
Oh, very hit or miss.
But isn't that everything? Isn't that all TV? It's all hit or miss?
Even more so with Amazon.
I got to go back to the Rings of Power. I watched the first 3 episodes and never came back to it.
Yeah, I did not watch Rings of Power. I watched something that you.
I was really enjoying it. It just came out during Halloween season and I didn't have time.
Oh, you have some bangers though. The Boys, Invincible.
Boys is great. Yeah.
Invincible is really good.
Oh, Invincible. When is season 2 for that coming? That's what we need.
They teased that a long time ago. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm definitely here for God of War. I'll check it out. And I've the stuff that I've watched on Amazon has all been really good. When they picked up The Expanse, that is a fucking phenomenal sci-fi show. If you're into sci-fi, really, really good. So Amazon has not steered me wrong yet.
I personally have I think said this before. I feel like I'm being, a wet towel on your guys' parade. I don't want to be, but I have no desire to interact with God of War outside of a video game. And like the story of the video, I'm not sure if they're gonna like hold to like the new gen story of God of War that I think so, like based off
Yeah,
the tweets and
Based
stuff
on all
I
the
saw.
tweets, it looks like
Yeah.
it's the
I don't want to watch
2018.
that as a TV show. I'm good.
I don't feel like we need to. I mean, it's like just take the cutscenes and there you go. Like I don't know why. But then again, we
Like
don't
my
really
least
need a
favorite
Last
part.
of Us TV
It's like
show.
my least favorite part of the game.
Oh, I love that
I
story.
love the God of War story.
I
think
love
it's
the
great.
story. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's awesome.
It is Amazon, so the cutscene might just be on there, just upload it up as a movie.
That's true.
Amazon does shit like that. Like
That'd be
legit.
funny.
Yeah, I'm very
Like
curious to see who they cast. That's
the
what I'm
overarching
more interested in.
story and like Mimir and stuff I liked, but like the whole father-son thing is not. I don't want to watch a TV. I don't watch 12 episodes of that. I'm good. Like I'm real good. Thanks.
I mean, you wouldn't be following like all of that. It'd be just
I don't
certain
know.
pieces.
I imagine if it's a TV series, you're going to get a lot more of that because they're always together. You can't have companions always together and have dialogue.
It's not 30 hours of this. No, I just feel like it won't be
Okay,
anywhere near
we'll see.
as annoying
You'll see.
as he was in certain areas. But then again, he didn't bother me that much. He's a kid.
He
I know
wasn't
what
that
kids
bad. He
are
was a
like.
kid. He was just a dumb
Yeah,
kid.
it's just kids.
Okay.
I don't think we need it.
You're wrong, Donnie. It's gonna be great.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, maybe I am, but no, I'm good. Like I said, I have no desire to interact with God of War. I'm not into like this. Everything needs to be a universe. I need a comic book and a novel and a podcast and a TV show and a movie and the video game. I'm good. Like things can just be games and things. Like I don't need it all to be together.
I agree.
I don't need to
a
go
TV show.
from console to screen to phone. Like that's too much. We're doing too much these days. Too much.
They're just trying to capture as many audience people as they can. That's the same reason why Last of Us is getting a TV show. People who don't play video games watch TV, so let's see if we can capture them there.
Sure.
It's business. It's business, baby.
Yeah, I don't hate them for it. That's the whole new rage. The new second screen experience. So
Yeah.
I hope it's good. Maybe good and everybody will like it. Which takes us to your favorite part of the show, Delvin.
Days, you got your rude days. You want your rude days. You got your motherfucking rude days. You want your rude days. You got your rude days. You want your rude days. You got your rude days. Rude days. 93. Chicka, chicka, chicka.
Before we jump into the Rude Day segments, Justin has let us know that he has to roll out. So we appreciate you
Thanks,
for
man.
jumping in here and hanging with us. You're always welcome. So thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Absolutely. I miss you boys. If next time can't do this on a Wednesday. I can't get too wild on a Wednesday night.
We do this every week on a Wednesday.
No, we gotta
It's a
change
problem
it up.
for us, man.
I know. I don't know how you.
How the
do it.
hell you come in and gonna change the date?
I'm surprised you didn't come in wearing the sunglasses. Where the shades at, Justin? Where the
Yeah,
shades
true.
at?
That's what I'm saying. I ain't got my drink. I ain't got my shades. It's not a Saturday night. We I tell you what, the Final Fantasy VII, when we're gonna do a review cast, and then it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be on
It'll be a Saturday. It'll be at
Yeah.
night. We'll
You ain't
turn
gonna
up.
understand any of it.
Put
But
that
it's
shit on
gonna be great.
XP.
Yeah,
Basically, that's the only console it's on. So yeah, that makes sense.
that's my yeah. All right. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man.
We
Have a happy
appreciate you.
Christmas.
Yes, you as well. Have a good New
Yes.
Year. Peace.
Peace.
Okay. Getting back to our Rude Days question, we have our over-unders. Over-under June 15th, 2023 for the date that they shut down the Marvel's Avengers servers.
That's a really good question.
I'm not following that game. I don't know. I mean, like, didn't they
I-
sell when Crystal got
They-
sold off, right?
Not this
You know
part.
what?
They just released the character
I was gonna
some
say
new
that.
and some new content. They are like
they keep every year they keep saying, "Oh, this is it," and they just release another character. So
they are
like, it keeps
going
happening.
down with that ship. They are riding it until the wheels fall off.
Over under 2023. I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I think it'll stay around longer than June.
That seems
I
soon.
think
I do too.
Yeah, that's 6 months. That seems way too soon, especially after you just released content. I think there's still some more content coming.
I think you at least have to give like a 6-month warning, if not longer, probably a year
Yeah.
warning.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're shutting down services for this game in 2024, something like that. You can't just be like in June. I mean, I guess they can.
Well,
but
they can.
I
They
wouldn't.
absolutely
Yeah.
can. Like we're
Can,
putting them
Can, but I
play.
wouldn't. I wouldn't. We're getting games that have been, they've been around for 10 years that still have servers going on.
Yeah, but
I
those
mean-
probably still have like microtransactions and people buying stuff. Nobody's buying anything for this game, so it's not like you cut off the servers. They can still play the single player version of the game. Like you don't.
Well, that's a fair point. Fair
Like,
point.
He doesn't need to play multiplayer.
They're still
Yeah.
buying stuff on it. They sell skins and stuff. I don't think people
Ain't
still
nobody buying
just-
that shit.
Delvin's still buying stuff on it. Is what he
I
misses.
haven't bought something on there in a while. It's been
Stop
a
lying. You got that shit installed. You just played it yesterday. Turned
He's
off God of
playing
War to
Stop
play.
God of War, and he's playing Marvel's Avengers.
It's been like a few months. I want to say since July. The last month.
Then when Black Panther came out,
No, Black Panther came out way before that.
and you were
Yeah, I
still
went back-
playing it.
Yeah, because I didn't finish the other 2 DLCs. Well, it's now 3. Well, maybe it's 4 now. It's a lot more stuff they added to it. They got Hawkeye, which nobody cares about. They got other Hawkeye. They got Spider-Man, of course.
Which
You know,
wasn't even a DLC. It was just
Yeah.
here's a character. Same with like Bucky. Just here's Winter Soldier.
Bucky, and they got Thor. Well, Jane Foster Thor.
Jane Foster.
I still remember watching the unveil at E3 with Dev, and I was like, this ain't it. It's like my
That's
only.
just-
I saw day one, I was like, that is not what anybody wants.
There was absolutely no reason to make it a multiplayer game as a service. It
was like, they
just
are
needed to be
fucking
a
up.
single player game. The story is really good. The gameplay is actually pretty fun. It just has no business being a live service game.
Yeah, they're going
at
about
all.
this all wrong. You gotta quit trying to shove everything into one game. Universe is too big. There's a reason why it's called a universe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Break it off
Yeah.
into smaller, digestible pieces. Okay. Over under, you'll be playing 1.5 Spider-Mans in Spider-Man 2. So I have more than one Spider-Man.
Oh, that's that for sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you're only going to play as one of them. That wouldn't make any sense for what they set up with the trailer, what they've set up with the previous.
I didn't
2
see the
games.
trailer. So
You haven't seen the
I-
trailer that came out like last year?
oh,
Yeah, with both of them.
I
There's no
didn't.
new trailer.
Oh, I that's what I thought you were meant. It's like, wait, there's a new trailer? I must have
Yeah.
missed that.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
No new trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take the over.
Yeah, I'm going with the over on that too.
Last question on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your hype level for 2023? Gaming wise, of course.
We got to get there
5.
first, right? 5, really? That's it?
Yeah.
No, I'm much more.
Yeah,
I'm much more excited
I'm
for next year than this year. I don't know if I'm hyped, but I'm much more excited. So
I'm
I would
not hyped.
say. So all right. So if we're having a hype scale, 10 is hyped. 1 is what?
No hype.
Flatline, no hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
So it is
oh
5.
my God,
5 is
Jack is here. Hi, Jack.
5 is what? 5 is mid.
Yes, 5 is mid.
So
5
what
is
would
mid.
like a 7.5 be?
IGN.
Yeah. You're on the IGN. You're IGN.
You're on the IGN scale. It's 7.
Yeah.
Everything's a 7. You're IGN. You're tepid.
I'm probably like at an 8.
I think I'm at an 8 also. I got a new Destiny content that looks really good. I got Dead Space. I got Forspoken. I got Star Wars. I got some more
Did you play the
Horizon,
Forspoken
Diablo. No, I have no desire to play the
Apparently
demo. I'm just
people
gonna play the
hate it.
game. I don't care what those people think. Game looks fun. I'm gonna play it. I'm excited
Okay.
for it. I got Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Like, I'm excited. There's a lot of games coming that I want to play.
Solid. I want to play Fire Emblem. I want to play AEW wrestling game. I want to play the EA golf game, the Masters. I would say NCAA football, but I don't think that's coming out.
It's not-
Atomic Heart,
Nope.
Replace, Stalker 2,
Oh, replaced. Yes.
Wanted Dead, Plucky Squire. I got a lot of games on my to-do list, but none of them are like big games. Redfall, Forza, to a lesser extent Starfield. Starfield, I'm still not like, I'm not hyped for Starfield
I
yet.
care less about Starfield. Starfield can kick rocks.
But yeah, there's a I'm looking
People in
forward
the chat saying Zelda, this is the wrong show.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be hyped for Zelda, and maybe it will be, Like I want to be there. I want to be excited at this moment. It's not that I'm not excited for the game. I just don't want to play that game on that hardware. So I'm kind of like pushing it aside. Hopefully we have new hardware, or hopefully it's like one of those Marvel Switch games, right? Where it comes out and people are like, "Oh, it plays great," and then I'll totally get it and play Zelda. But if it plays like I'm expecting it to play, I'm probably gonna wait. At this point, I feel pretty solid in. I want to play Zelda on a better system than my current Switch. And if I gotta wait a year to do that, I think it'd be probably better to wait, because I just don't want. I want that first experience to be as good as it can be, and it's not gonna be if it's on the system we have.
Sad but true. Sad but true. Does Replace have a release date yet? Because that's what I need in my life.
That game looks so good.
It looks awesome.
It's real excited about that.
You might as well say Sports Story, because that's not coming.
Don't.
There's not enough December left.
Do not.
2023.
I keep counting the days. They're like, it's come out in December, and it's like, when? It's almost gone.
It's
like,
almost over.
It's gonna release on Christmas Day. They're gonna be like, "Merry
That'd be a
Christmas,
Christmas
sports stories." I'm like, you motherfuckers! I got all these kids and family, and all I want to do is play Sports Story. Ugh. Look at this smoking Joe. It'll probably play bad, but it'll be amazing.
No.
That's what I'm trying not to happen. Like I'm trying to get away. I'm trying for that not to be the case.
I mean, that's just the Switch experience, right?
Just Shaq stuff. Yeah, all these people like Pokemon too, apparently.
I keep telling him this is the wrong show for this year. No.
Yeah. So
you're not. What are there any games you're excited for, Mr. Midtacular over there?
Dark Pictures.
Right.
Not really.
Presents Exorcism.
Forspoken.
That's it.
Did you play the demo?
I did play a little bit of it.
How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. It plays
Good.
very different than people expect to play.
Come on, Donnie. He likes everything.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually if that demo was on PC, I'd play it because I'm intrigued. Like I want to see it for myself. So I was when it got the demo announcement, I was kind of rooting for it to come out and everybody be like, this game is so much fun. Because like, ooh, that's nice. Maybe I'll get it. But it came out and apparently everybody, and I'm not saying everybody, I'm talking like Carpool, tons of podcast, like a lot of people were like this.
I've seen 50-50. And it's not even so much that they don't like the gameplay, it's just they don't like the dialogue. Like it's just too much.
That's a big thing.
It's too much. So
not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm playing it. I played a little bit like, oh, this is cool. This is what I expected it to be. I like the combat so far.
What does it play like? If you could think of like a game to compare it to, what would you compare it to?
Oh, you use the triggers to fight with, like cast spells and stuff.
Okay, like a shooter.
So it's kind of like a shooter almost, but you can cast. I don't know. It looks like Final Fantasy in terms of like how it looks and kind of plays, but it's smooth. I like it. I can't describe it. It's just really.
It's an action game, though, right? It's not turn-based.
It's an action game.
It's action-based, but you do have to pull up like a scroll wheel to change through your magic and all of that stuff.
Yes.
But then you're just throwing out attacks and stuff. So
it's like Ghostwire?
I've never played Ghostwire, so I can't speak to that.
Okay.
Trying to think what game it plays like.
So those early trailers that I saw where I was getting excited, I was getting kind of like this open world. It seemed fast, like almost Infamous-y type of action, and it doesn't seem like that's.
No, it's definitely fast and it's got a lot of action, but it's also like you're kind of pausing mid, like it slows down while you're changing magic to release spells and stuff like that. But then you also have just different attacks that are just the triggers or whatnot. So,
okay,
yeah,
that one is. I don't think I would even buy it, even if I played a demo and I liked it. I'd probably still wait on it, but I would like to go hands on with it for myself just to get an idea.
Yeah, I would think that's be good.
Yeah, it seems, and I'm intrigued.
The combat's different. I like it. As you're traversing, you have to press a button to make yourself like go faster and stuff. Like it's very momentum based when it comes to like moving across and traversing and stuff like that. But the moves are pretty cool. Like you can put a fire barrier around yourself to protect yourself. You can it's like a lot of different moves you can do. You can like make a fire sword and fight. It's very diverse. You feel like a witch almost, like you're fighting like a cool ass witch. I like it.
Okay. It's like Xenoblade?
No. Trying to think combat wise, but it's like it's a game on the tip of my tongue that it's like combat wise, where you have to like press the button and you get like a combat wheel, and you can switch to different moves and stuff like that. That it plays a lot like. I can't remember the name of it.
All right. Our buy and sell segment, talking about our rumor mill. This came out last week from a notable leaker who's been right both about Naughty Dog and about other things in the past. Says that Last of Us Part 3 is currently in production at Naughty Dog. Buy or sell?
Duh. Yeah, buy. I buy that.
He did clarify that Factions will come out first, and he said he doesn't know about their fantasy game, but he said that Last of Us Part 3 is in production. So maybe they've split teams, which they've done in the past a bunch. He said, and he also said, I guess since we're talking about the rumor, he also clarified that apparently Uncharted is heading to a different studio, which has been rumored for a while that somebody else would be taking Uncharted.
I figured that too.
Yeah, that's been in the rumors for a while. So
I'll
buy.
Sure,
yeah, I'll buy.
Sure.
I'll buy the rumor they're working on Last of Us Part 3. You guys all in?
Yeah, I'm all in. But what does in production mean? It could be early in production. It could be the starting phase of it.
Well, knowing Naughty Dog, they were in production of Last of Us Part 2 in 2014, and we saw when that damn thing came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like knowing them, that means nothing, or it means very little. They could be working on that game for the next 8 years, for all anybody knows. If they want to, they can do whatever they want. They're Naughty Dog, do whatever they want. I don't think I'm going to play it. I'm good. Yeah. When I saw that rumor float around and all the headlines and everything, I had to fight the urge to like just be like, nope, don't like that. Like, nope.
You think you're out?
Yeah, I'm out. I don't think I'm out. I'm out.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What if it's like a totally different take? We're going somewhere else.
That would be the best case. Like if it's complete new characters, everything, like a reboot, that'd be the best case to get me back.
Not necessarily a reboot, just like Last of Us in some different area. Like we're going
different characters and everything.
Yeah, different characters.
That would be a reboot. In my mind, that's a reboot. If you're the whole, like, what is not a reboot if you're not telling a completely different story with completely different characters? When any franchise gives you a completely different thing, spin-off. It's a reboot.
It's more of a spin-off. I don't think of it as a reboot because it's still existing in the same
Part 3.
It can still be Part 3. There's plenty of books.
We're
and
arguing
stories
over
where,
semantics, but yes,
right.
I will.
Like a reboot.
Okay.
Or if they cross, what if they crisscross? Like it's characters that run into Joel and Ellie or run into Abby and
sure, something like that. I would be open to doing something like that. But if it's any continuation, which I think it will be, of where they're headed, I'm out.
It's gonna be a continuation.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Like this whole us even fantasizing that it's not is ridiculous. You know what the spin-off is? Factions. That's the spin-off.
Yeah, that's the spin-off.
It's not going to be a spin-off. It's going to be more Abby and Ellie and Joel and all of that. So I'm good. I'm out.
I am curious, would it be Abby?
Yeah, it would have to be. Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I think so.
Abby and Lim. Or that's his name? I can see that. But I would much rather them just show me some other place. Like this
me too.
That story feels finished. Just show me.
I'd go to a completely different world. Like I would, I'm all about it, but they're not going to. And it doesn't have to be Abby, but I mean, that story will be touched upon. There'll be characters tied up in there. I mean, I still think Ellie be a focus, and Dina, and they'll probably have a new antagonist or something. And I imagine they'll find a way to make this all come together and be happy or something. But yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it.
That's it. That's it for the news block. One last news block for 2022.
Ooh, we made it. All right. Wow, we got a lot of questions.
So depressing, Dev. Be excited. This is your show.
Ooh,
Look here.
we made it.
Look here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. The show
Bro.
continues. Damn.
I'm tired. All right.
Look, 2022 has
tired.
done it all to us, but we ain't got to let it win.
Yes.
It didn't win. How much
Strap
more
up the
excitement do you need me
bootstraps.
for news that mostly consisted of god dang Microsoft merger? I'm so tired of that. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
Tara,
glad that's over.
I don't
I'm
think
excited
you'll be
that there's
happy with
no
this.
more Microsoft
Oh.
stuff.
You 100%.
I'm sorry. I
something.
didn't mean the word happy. I think I was thinking that as I said it. They'll find a way to wrap it all up and make sense and leave it on some sort of place, where I think where it all comes together. It
People in Zombieland seem happy.
definitely won't be happy. I don't think they'll be all like in a happy moment. Yeah, that's definitely Last of Us does not do that. That is not what they'll do.
They
No.
all hug, or they'll do the high five and freeze frame.
They all build a community together and find it. They may find a cure. Do you think they would ever actually go as far as making a cure for the world?
No.
You can't make more games if you do that.
Right. What are you gonna do? The rebuild of us. No, thank you. Nobody wants
More
to
of
play
us.
that. All right. Well, we got a lot of questions, so let's just dive right into them. Since this is the last questions of the year, let's just try and get through all of them and see what happens. So Kyle's first question, he wants to know, what are your top 3 best and worst purchases for this year gaming wise?
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah,
You know
because
what
y'all buy so many damn games.
You know what my best purchase of the year was? Dev?
Devin, what am I to do with you? First of all, this very suspicious screen name, Dat Ninja Dev.
By far, my best purchase ever.
That is true.
But that wasn't a game. It said gaming wise.
Oh, so good.
Sons of bitches.
Worth its weight in gold. What an investment. I have no idea. My worst purchases? What do you do? Your favorite? I mean, is your best purchase would just be your favorite games of the year, then, right?
Oh,
guess, yeah.
my best purchase this year is the Steam Deck. So that's
That's right. I mean, yeah, I guess you could be hardware. Sure.
Yeah.
My Gene, it's not my best purchase of the year. I mean, I like it. I don't like it that much. I didn't buy my PC this year, did I?
No.
Yeah, it was last year.
Or no.
I don't
When
remember.
did Dying Light 2 come out?
This year.
This
January.
year.
Then that's when you
It
got
was
the
January.
PC.
All right, so the
Yeah.
PC and the TV. That'd be answers 1 and 2. Or the monitor. For those of me that don't know, I have
It's a TV. It's a TV.
I have a TV for a monitor. It's fucking dope. What is it?
The LG C1?
It's fucking great. It's fantastic.
There you go.
Playing at Callisto was so good. There were moments I was playing it where I had to like scoot away from the screen and just kind of take it all in. I was like, man, it's so good. Callisto's real nice. So that's 2. I got 2 of them down. PC and TV.
Ooh. I guess the 3080 is going to be one of them. Because I did mine by 3080 this year.
Very nice. Very nice.
I guess Cult of the Lamb was another good purchase.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
That I wasn't originally going to grab, but I did, and I don't regret it one bit.
The reason I will say Cult of the Lamb, it is my favorite game of the year. So I just go ahead and admit to that. But that's not the reason I'll call it my best purchase. I love the game so much that I bought Cult of the Lamb. I bought the physical edition. I bought canvas prints. I bought a hoodie. I bought a Cult of the Lamb. I have a lamb. So that is, I don't think I've done that with any other game this year. That I got all into it, that I wanted like stuff. And Cult of the Lamb is that game.
Yeah.
I guess my second pick, would probably be my Kratos and Atreus statue I got.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool. I keep it in the box. I got it like for real cheap. It was $100. I got it on sale for like $30. And I love it. It's a great statue.
Nice.
So
where do you put all your statues? I don't think I've ever seen like your gaming setup. I don't think I've ever seen pictures.
It's a mess. I have stuff. I have I have a giant cabinet with a whole bunch of statues and stuff in it. And I have 2 different type of 4-tier shelf with a bunch of shit on it. I have a lot of stuff. A lot.
Sean in the chat says I started a cult.
Yeah.
And then John 32 replied saying they're called the Baby Punchers. I now want to re-roll Cult of the Lamb and call my cult the Baby Punchers. That's great.
Not a good idea.
That's fantastic. I'll probably play Cult of the Lamb again next year. Is that it? Do we all do it? 3?
I mean, I did 2. I didn't do a third one. Trying to think, did I buy any other cool gear?
Headphones, microphones,
I don't know
keyboard.
if- was that this year? I'm trying to think. Was that this year that I bought?
2022 feels forever. So I get
Right.
it.
Yeah, it does.
I think the mic stand that I have right now, the Wave LP, I think was this year. I love this mic arm. It's fantastic.
Did that consider
It's
the
just-
gaming thing?
I completely forgot about the Don.
I mean, yeah, because I also use this to talk on Discord when playing games on PC and stuff. So sure, why not?
Gotcha. That makes sense. Oh, you know what? I just thought about it. My Captain America and Winter Soldier Xbox controller.
Yes.
There you
I
go.
do remember
You're
that.
welcome.
Now we're talking. Very nice.
Thank you, Dev. That's a great one. Yeah.
Very nice. Worst purchases.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That has been a theme for the podcast.
Yeah.
Worst purchases. The chant, the
Ooh.
Corey.
You know what? The chant goes in mine too. The chant goes in mine.
Chant sucked.
It's bad.
What a mess.
Ugh.
I don't know, man. Worst purchases.
Chant.
I'm
Elden
looking
Ring.
around and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I wouldn't have it if I hated it. It wouldn't be here anymore.
Right.
The PS5? Does that count? I got it. I got it for
For you-
Last of Us. Played it.
For you,
Never
it
played
count.
it again. So yeah, I got rid of it. So yeah, I'll let that fly.
So disappointing.
I don't know why.
So disappointing.
I'll get
Got
the
the-
one with the external disc drive.
No, you won't. You're never getting another PS5. You are done with Sony. Let's just be
It's
real.
very- I muted the room. Like somebody was the other day, y'all tagged me, and I was like, why am I even being like, why is somebody asking me? I don't care what they do anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I do the same thing with the Xbox.
Out of
room.
sight,
it
out of
stays
mind.
muted. Xbox,
can't.
Shaq muted.
I've given up hope on them trying to do anything that makes any
I don't mute
damn
any of the rooms.
sense.
You don't exist in the Discord, so
Facts.
the Discord is probably muted. There's no need for you to mute rooms.
Sean says he enjoyed the time and Delvin woke up and saw ass.
Why you enjoy the time I woke up and saw ass? That's not a thing you should enjoy, sir.
Well, because you share it with your friends.
That's it.
Lord, shit. Hold up. The hell is wrong with you? Lost your
See,
goddamn
and he passed it on to his friends. See, you forgot that whole story.
You guys are just the worst. Just terrible people. Get another
Damn.
PS5 when it's half the size. No, get another PS5 when
Worst.
it's twice the size.
Yes, I'm saying make it bigger. It's the PS5 Pro. It's got to go bigger. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be a PC size case, like huge, bigly.
The PS5 Pro 3.
I'm saying.
So
Let's
they
go.
add the number to the PS and then they start adding numbers to the Pro.
Yes.
So we had the
I love it.
PS5 Pro. Now we have the PS5 Pro 2. You just keep going. And
I'm
they
here
won't
for
even match. They won't even be matching numbers,
Don't need to.
right? You have the PS5 Pro 6 and you just keep going. That's hilarious.
I'm with it.
I
I'm
like
with it. You know what? Probably my worst 2 purchases are game wise: Madden and NBA 2K, because I haven't played either one of them.
Oh,
That's
really?
a good point.
I played a
haven't
lot of
played
I
either
played
one of them.
2K.
Me and Jack
I
played
didn't
a
get
lot
Madden.
of 2K.
I played 2K.
Madden
Madden, I
sucked.
didn't bother getting this year.
I was pretty let down by Madden. They were talking all that game about all the new stuff, and I got into it for 5 minutes. I was like, "This shit ain't new." That's the
They
same shit with
fooled
you just hold the button down.
They do that every
Yeah.
year.
I really,
Sometimes
I'm going to say it again since this is kind of our wrap up show. Man, I really hope they don't Madden NCAA football. Like, that's going to be heartbreaking. Because Madden, and I know there's a lot of people that play Madden and love Madden. And if you really, truly love it the way that it is, I'm sorry. But it is just not it. It is so robotic feeling. And so, I don't even know the right, just, I don't even know, structured, rigid. It's so rigid in its feel. It doesn't feel like you're playing a sports game anymore. I'm like, what are they doing? I feel like they've just slaughtered it. Like, in their undying in to make it feel like such a simulation, they've simulated all the fun out of it. Like, it used to be fast and fun, and you could run around and scramble and throw, and like, now it's just a bunch of have you guys, I mean, you said you bought it. Have you played it at all?
I haven't played it, but I've watched several people play it.
Playing running game, like trying to like stutter step and juke, like their animations slow the character down, and like all of this aim for realism, and it just, to me, sucks to play. It just feels so bad to play.
Interesting. Everything that when I'm watching it, it looks awesome. It looks like it's a lot of fun to play. It looks like
I think visually it looks great. It's the feel. It's like from my controls to actions on the screen, the feel to me is just way off.
Interesting. I haven't heard that from anybody who I know who plays like a lot of Madden. They seem to love this year's version.
I will say this. They trying to get me. They got me last year because they put Bo Jackson on the cover. This year, Deion Sanders on the MVP cover. I'm like,
Coach Prime?
I love Deion Sanders. Yeah.
You excited for him to resurrect Colorado? That's who they should put on the cover for the new NCAA football.
We need to resurrect Colorado?
Yeah, dude, they've sucked for years. They've been terrible.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know that?
Yep.
No, man.
I think they won one game last year. And I love Colorado. Like, I'm not a fan, but as somebody who is a Nebraska fan, I've always wanted them to be good, like for the rivalry and everything. And obviously, we all grew up in the 90s, and Colorado was dope. Colorado was a good program, and they have sucked for like a decade. So I hope he will turn around. He'll get enough talent for them to be respectable.
I'm not allowed to talk about that.
What?
Huh?
Have you not seen the conversation behind Deion Sanders and him going there?
Yeah, I've seen it all.
Yeah, all of it.
It's a mess.
Yeah, people are mad because he's going somewhere and taking a bag, and he's honest. It's like, look, but here's the other side. Where I always talk about that. Like, he's gonna go somewhere that there's a lot of black males that can use a black male to like help them get through everything. So I'm like, shut up, like let this man do it. He's not there for the fame. He's not there for the accolades. He's literally, like he says, the purpose and the place is bigger than what y'all think it is. So let that man shine.
I think he's gonna do good.
He's gonna do great. I mean, because Colorado's so bad, like he can only fail up from this point. Like, he'll get enough talent to be better than they are. The question is, can he make them a power again? And I think he can. But Deion, the thing that's got people all clutching pearls is he told those folks to, he told the kids, he's like, go ahead and get in the portal. What folks probably don't realize or don't know is that when a school in Division I hires a new coach, they can cut players.
Yeah.
Only the first year. When you get hired first year, you can cut players. Otherwise, scholarships are guaranteed. Every coach that gets hired and comes into a new program says that same speech he did. What he said was nothing new to anybody. It was just the first time he put on videotape. Yeah. But every coach walks into a new team and tells them, like, some of y'all will be here and some of y'all won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just being honest with them. I respect that. And those players should too. Because, that's the thing. Oh, and I hate this about college football right now. It's really bothersome, but like, there's no loyalty in professional sports. That shit goes out the window when people get paid. Coaches aren't loyal to players. Players aren't loyal to coaches. Teams aren't loyal to either. Like, it all goes out the window when you introduce money, which college football is introducing tons of money now. And it is all going out the window. Players are not going to the schools they dreamed that they go to. They are going to the highest bidder. They keep jumping in the portal every year instead of staying in school because they are going to the highest bidder. That's all it's turning into now. I find that depressing. But to somebody like Deion, that's an advantage. How the hell do we get off on this?
I don't know.
Madden
the
and
question?
NCAA football.
NCAA football. That's right. Yeah. I hope it's not like Madden. I hope it plays differently. Hope it's more arcadey. It's faster. It's fun, and not a simulation to nth degree. That'd be upsetting.
All right. Next question. Justin says, "What's your favorite controller and why?" For me, the GameCube controller will never be beat. I wish Nintendo never left the design.
I almost rhymed.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Almost right.
I love the GameCube controller. I don't know about you. I mean, I think I've said this before. I like most controllers. Like, there are very few controllers that I hate. And I would only say that I hate them by comparison standards. Like, obviously, a new controller today is probably a lot better than a controller from 1992. Right? But like in 1995, when somebody handed me a controller, I wasn't like, I hate this. Like, I don't know. I've always felt like I'm very adaptable to controllers. Like, you can hand me a controller and I'm typically figure out how to play with it. It'll be fine. Some are better than others, but they don't really ever bother me.
I kind of like the DualSense.
Yeah. It's a really nice controller. I like the way it feels.
I do. That's what it is. I like how it feels. I like the little detail of how, if you look into it, you can see the PlayStation signs all over.
When I say feel, I mean I like how it sits in my hand. Like, I like the placement of the controller. Like, my grip on the controller is nice.
I really dig that controller. And I like the fact that they actually have different colors with it. Like a variety of colors. And
yeah, that's been something that consoles have needed for years. I'm really happy that that's become more of a commonplace thing now.
I just everything about it. I like how immersive the controller is itself. Like, DualSense in general is just pretty cool.
Solid.
I'm with you. Mine so far has been the DualSense. I love this controller a lot. I'm very curious to see how the new one, they're like Elite type controller, pans out.
That's right.
I really love the feel of the Elite.
I forgot all about that. That hasn't come out yet. Oh shit! I thought it already came out.
Nope. Next year. I forgot when the release date is, but yeah. So I'm very curious. But right now, DualSense for sure.
I mean, I feel like out of just default, I got to pick the Xbox controller. I honestly don't really want to, but I mean, it is my default controller. It's the controller I play with all the time, across systems even. It's what I play on PC. It's what I play on Xbox. So if I could use that controller on other systems, I probably would. So by default, it's probably my favorite controller. I don't know if I think it's like my favorite controller like of all time. I don't know if I'd call that. I like the GameCube controller. I love the Wii U gamepad. I always thought it was cool. I think it's underrated. But yeah, I mean, that is kind of old faithful. Like, when I think controller, that's what I think of. It's the default option in my mind. I think of the Xbox Elite controller.
Yeah. Indubitably. All right. What did I just do?
Stin.
Okay. Right. John D says, just like the Halloween memories, what are your favorite Christmas memories?
I have a good one. It is a memory of mine. It has nothing to do with gaming though. I've probably told the story before. When in our old home, so it's probably like 2013 or 2012. Jack was a bunch younger. I don't know if he's still listening to chat. He can tell us. But it was one of his first Christmases. May have been 4 or 5, something like that. Right around the Wii U launch. And we had a Christmas tree and we put all the presents on it and everything. We got them all excited and, gave them all the Christmas music and treats and did the note for Santa and everything. And we woke up the next day and all the presents were gone. And for a moment, a very quick moment, we thought we were robbed. We're like, oh shit, what happened? And we went to go check on the kids and we checked on Victoria and she was fine. Just beautiful little girl in her bed. And we get her up and we go and check on Jack and we open the door and Jack had gotten up in the middle of the night and took all of the presents to his room and opened them all up. And then he fell asleep in the evidence. So we open the door and we just see this bare ass boy just in the floor just covered in wrapping paper with like all of the family's presents scattered all over his room. And it made for a very funny like Christmas morning, kind of uneventful one, but a very funny one. That was a funny story.
That is a great story.
Yeah, I agree.
Favorite Christmas memory. Probably getting my Super Nintendo. Like, that is one of my favorite memories. It was just a really, really nice Christmas. Did not get the set with Super Mario World because F Mario. I got it with Street Fighter 2 because yes. So that was awesome. I only had one controller. That kind of sucked, so my sister couldn't play with me. But I did get money from my grandmother to go buy a second controller the very next day. So
nice.
Yeah, that was a nice Christmas.
I don't know if I have a favorite Christmas memory now. It's kind of like my favorite Christmas memories is just watching my kids grow up and enjoy Christmas. Like I kind of love just sitting down, like staying up with them until midnight, and then watching them open their gifts up, and their eyes like light up with joy. Like even now, they're like 17 and 15. I know they're gonna be shocked and happy, and they're still excited for Christmas. I think that's a really cool thing, and I'm glad that I can give them the childhood that I didn't have. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I never really got gaming stuff for Christmas as a kid, so they get it all now. My kids haven't been hyped for Christmas in a couple years, though. Like, they're kind of at that age, where they get the gig and everything. They're like, thanks, Dad. But, it's not like rip open the present, like scream and shout and excited. Yeah. They used to be that way. I miss those days. Those were super fun.
Yeah, they are. My kids still get like that, so I think it's dope.
It's nice.
Excellent. Moving along. John 32 says, if you were able to make one gaming Christmas wish for 2023, what would it be and why?
For the love of God, we need a new Switch. Like, please, Nintendo. For everything that's holy, we need a new Switch. I'm not even asking for much. I'm literally not. I would love a beautiful 1080p screen that has enough internals to run Nintendo games at 60 frames a second. I'm not even asking for the other game. Just Nintendo games at 60 frames a second. That's a good one. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to not be greedy.
I'm going to pick a selfish answer, something I would want. A Dreamcast Mini. I've been asking for this for years. Just a straight up Dreamcast Mini with all, like, I guess 30 of the best Dreamcast games out there. Of course, you can mod and add shit onto it, but I've been wanting one of those for years.
Me too.
Ever since, I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I was going to say, I wanted one for years, and then I bought the G unit, and it is my Dreamcast Mini. I put all my Dreamcast games on it, and they play great. And I think now I'm satiated. I'm like, I'm good.
I kind of like the aesthetic of the mini consoles. Like, even like,
yeah, they're cool to have. They're nice novelty items. Do you think we're done with them?
I don't know if they're going to make a Dreamcast one. I think.
I'm just in general. Do you think we're done with them overall?
I don't think so. I think Sega's going to keep making them forever. They're just going to keep modding up the
Sega
Genesis.
So then it would have to be the Dreamcast.
I mean,
because they just did the
Saturn.
CD.
Sega Saturn is next.
They're not going to do a Saturn Mini.
Why do a Dreamcast Mini?
And here's the
same
thing.
People who are going to buy the Dreamcast Mini.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'd probably buy it. I'd probably buy a Saturn Mini.
Yeah,
but I don't think many people would. But I think I would. I probably would buy a Saturn Mini.
I almost bought the TurboGrafx 16 one because I never played the TurboGrafx.
What?
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Never played Bonk's Adventure? Let's go.
Never.
Splatterhouse?
Never played the TurboGrafx, never played a Neo Geo, and I never played a Saturn. Those are three systems I never played.
I mean, look, nobody ever played a Neo Geo. Them things was $500 in the 90s. Let's be real.
I had a Saturn. I had a Saturn in the pawn shop after they failed. So I would probably get a Saturn.
Never had a Saturn.
Remember the damn cases games had, like VHS tapes for the CD? Like the cases were huge.
They're
Yep.
ridiculous.
The original PlayStation 1 cases were that big. They were the huge jewel cases.
Man, those are cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mini thing caught on for a hot minute.
Mhm.
And then Nintendo stopped. And like, yeah, Sega released one last year, but it just feels like the want and desire for that has really cooled overall.
They're still
I'm
coming out.
wondering if that's why Nintendo stopped.
I think it was.
Came,
I don't think so. I think it was just the fact that like the NES and the SNES were perfect for that. Like the SNES, the Genesis, and the NES were like the perfect idea for a mini system. I just don't think that's the nostalgia is there for that. Maybe an N64 mini, but
64 would be pretty sought after.
But the problem with that is a lot of the games is the licensing to try to get those games on there.
True.
Is the
and
problem.
The GameCube stuff is interesting because they're in a weird spot where I think if they did a GameCube Mini with all of their games on it, I think that would be that people would buy the shit out of that. At the same time, they want to remake those games and resell those games. Like there's more money to be made off of those games. They don't want to just put them all on a box and give them to you for $60.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think Smoker Joe kind of answered it. Sony killed it with that garbage PS1 mini.
I have one of those too. Yeah.
I have one of those.
A PS2 mini. We didn't even think about Sony. I mean, would you be down for a PS2 mini? I probably would.
If it's better than the one they put out.
If it's better. Yeah, if they did better than that. But I mean, even
Do
I bought
you really
that.
trust Sony to make a better one? I don't.
Oh, you know what? No, I have a PS2. What the fuck am I talking about? I have a PS2 with all the stuff on it.
I have PS2 too.
And all the games.
Yeah, I still have my PS2. I still have my
PS3,
and I wouldn't buy minis of those. Those aren't games I want to return to be perfectly honest.
I still play mine. I play mine sports games. So that's the thing. That's how much I don't like the new Madden.
Because you like
talk about like
arcadey ass versions.
I will
games. No,
just play. I'm like, I'll just play the old Madden. Just like, I played the new Madden. I was like, fuck it, never mind.
The only thing I want is NBA Street Volume 2. That's the only thing. If they were to put that on something,
I've got it.
But I want a new version of it. I don't want the old version. I want a remake. So, yeah, no, I'm not buying no more mini systems. The NES and the SNES were more because of just the nostalgia of my childhood, and that's where it stops for me, really.
What about a Game Boy Mini? That would be
absolutely the fuck not.
Dude, people would be ecstatic for a Game Boy Mini.
People would be ecstatic for anything Nintendo.
That's true, but a Game Boy Mini specifically?
Why would I want a mini Game Boy?
Pokemon and Mario, like, oh my god, people would lose their mind for a little. I could see it too. A little handheld, a little bitty handheld that you get to play, maybe like a couple colors, and you know, like it's rechargeable. Dude, people would buy this. You see the people that buy these Retroid pockets and shit, and basically turn them into Game Boys.
I ignore those people. Those people don't exist to me. It's nonsense.
Yeah, they'll get you by like, hey, here's one that's red that has Pokemon red. There's one that's blue.
Oh my god, that'd be such a
buy both of them.
People.
This
buy
is the
shit
worst timeline.
They could sell one of those. I bet they could sell a Game Boy Mini for like $150.
Oh,
I think so.
If they did, what if they did license editions? You said different colors. What if they were like, here's the Pokemon one, here's the Mario one? Oh my god!
Yeah, they would make some serious bank.
They would make so much money, and they would make that money off of games people already have and play.
Yes, exactly.
They would buy it just for the hardware, just for the little console.
Easy money.
I hate
that.
Nintendo.
That would sell gangbusters. Absolute gangbusters.
Okay, moving on from this damn question then, because I don't want to hear any more about Nintendo making mini Game Boys and shit. I'm done. No.
PSP Mini.
No, absolutely not.
That'd be dope.
No, it wouldn't, Delvin.
Pokemon alone. I bet they could make a portable handheld that just has like just Pokemon games on it and sell that shit for a ton of money.
Oh yeah.
You know,
the Pokemon game.
You know, like the Tiger Electronics shit like we had as a kid.
What's wrong with you people?
Just a Pokemon one.
Pokemon.
They'd be like, it's got Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green on it, and it's $150, and people would stand in line in the cold to get one.
It'll be sold out.
Sold out. The scalpers and shit be selling at 4 times the price. I mean, yeah.
They would do it.
Oh boy. My Christmas wish for 2023 is that Nintendo goes away, just gone. Because of all of this, Nintendo just doesn't exist.
AJ.
See?
Guys all
There you
have
go.
problems. All of you have issues.
Yep, I told you.
Got problems.
See?
Jesus
Like
Christ.
3 of them.
Told you.
How did this turn into
Oh
the shack?
shit!
How did this turn into the shack? Like,
Said
this
you
is
broke
just...
Dev.
I'm so irritated. So irritated. Fucking Nintendo. Free to Play Joe says, with gaming being more and more digital, do you think people will still get games for Christmas in the future? Yes, old people who refuse to let go of physical
really
games.
Good question.
Me.
So that's the thing. Like, when my wife asked me what I wanted for Christmas, like, I thought about games, but I was like, no, I don't need you to buy me games because I'm just gonna download whatever it is I want.
Yeah,
so
gaming gift cards.
yeah, like,
I hate
I said,
asking and giving gift cards for Christmas, but if you're gonna get me a video game something, I'd either want hardware or a digital code.
yeah,
You can buy the game. I don't need a gift card. You can buy the game. Just buy it digitally.
yeah. A PlayStation, you
I
can't
agree.
even really do that. You just got to buy money.
Yeah,
Money.
Steam gift cards are nice, but it is an
I
interesting
mean,
question.
I think with as long as Nintendo is still making consoles, there will be physical media. So I don't think
necessarily agree with that.
I don't think they'll ever stop making.
I
physical
absolutely
media.
could see Nintendo going to an all digital future.
Their online stuff sucks, so I don't see that.
Not cloud, but digital eShop.
Even
eShop's
still.
most of their business now anyway. They don't really have the big physical presence outside of, like
Really? Because their games still sell for bajillions of dollars when you trade
they
them
do,
in.
but in their earnings, like apparently they sell well, but apparently in their earnings reports they sell really well digitally. Like a lot of those copies are being sold digitally.
Yeah,
I'm not demeaning their physical presence. They still move box copies. Let me be clear. They still move box copies of games. But during the Wii U, I remember that digital overtook physical sales, and I think the Switch is only just further taken that. I think they're selling way more digitally now. And they can control that price. I think the biggest issue for Nintendo is used.
Yeah. I think I think until we're at a point where network infrastructure is really prominent, where people don't have to worry about downloading games and it being an issue, I still think we'll have physical games. I think it'll
even
be around
now
for at least another 10 years.
The Switch right now is selling physical games that you have to download.
Yeah.
They've been doing that. They'll be like, here's a game. You get 10 gigs of it on the cart, and you have to download the other 20 when you get home.
Call of Duty, 70 megs on the disc.
And they
the rest of it.
There are multiple Switch games that just come with a copy, like a box copy, and the game is just a code.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't think it's soon, but like if Nintendo was like, here's our next system and we have a digital only SKU, I wouldn't be shocked at all. Like I think that would make sense. But it is interesting because like I was trying to think of it this way. Like, what if GameStop goes away? I think it will soon.
Yeah, that's gonna happen soon.
Right.
I hope they go away just for Delvin's sake.
So if GameStop goes away soon, that really takes a huge chunk out of the retail market. You'll still have the little kiosk at the Walmart and the Target and stuff, but like those are getting smaller and smaller by the day. I'm just wondering if 10 years from now, do we still have like, I'm sure there'll be a demand for physical media, just like there kind of is a demand right now for vinyl, but it might be so small that you've got to go out of your way and pay a premium to do it. Like it may just not really be a thing. Like you've got music today, but it's not really a thing. Like there's vinyl collectors markets, but it's not really a thing. Everybody does Spotify and iTunes and stuff. I could see that being a thing for games.
I think it'll happen eventually. I just don't think we're there yet.
I think
like you said, like the Target section of video games is relatively small. Best Buy's is still pretty large, and the Walmarts out here are still pretty large. But
my Walmart one is down to one aisle now.
Oh,
it's not. They used to be both aisles.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be one aisle on both sides. Now it's one side of one aisle.
It's kind of opposite here.
Yeah, same. It's like 3 aisles in a back row.
There's my entire The electronics section at my Walmart now is like 85% phones and phone accessories.
Really?
And they have like a little line for laptops. The tire back wall is TVs. And then on the other side of the laptops, there's a little game case. And there's an Xbox case, a PlayStation case, a Nintendo case. And then at the end, there's like controllers. And like, that's it.
Oh,
And the
Wow.
selection is not great. It's like
way
just
more than
the
that.
big ones. And that's it.
Same here. Ours is like you've got a whole row of games for all the consoles, and you've got another side that has all the consoles, games, a bunch of other stuff. And then there's the back row that has controllers and accessories and stuff. And then around the corner, there's more games, like
We
the
have
lower
something
end
similar.
games.
That sounds like what mine was like 6 years ago.
We have something similar, but we also have a little spot for the arcade cabinets because around that time,
Yeah,
they
us
sell
too.
good here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are there. They're by the TVs. They have like one little thing where they're by the TVs. They got one or two of them.
Interesting.
I think as we get further and further away from that, though, publishers will have to work on. I mean, I think there's a gap to be filled, like on Nintendo's side, where you sell the games with toys. Yeah, like statues, little Mario things, trinkets, controllers, and you have the game included, and you sell stuff that
Amiibos.
way. T-shirts, like
Yeah.
merch.
Makes sense. TJ says, I subscribed to PS Premium on Black Friday, and I feel like I have more games than I could ever play, and I don't know if I ever need to buy new games again. Have you
Nice.
tried it yet, and is this the future? Delvin?
I've tried it. I don't like it. It's
Damn.
not where
No,
Damn.
sir, I don't like it.
it's not where it needs to be at yet. I think Game Pass is pretty much where it needs to be at in terms of that. If PS
Are you just talking
Plus
about
Premium-
first-party games?
just in general, I
Okay.
feel like PS Plus Premium it's cool, it's okay. But if at least for me, if that's all I had to do, I'm like, I don't know if I'd be along for the ride. If this is what a lot of I'd have for it.
Have they launched games into the service?
A couple. They launched.
There was one that just launched into, not into premium. Well, I guess Stray launched
Day
into premium.
one.
Yeah,
the game
Stray
is
launched
here.
it. What was the other game?
Stray was one. That's all I
Stray
got.
launched into it.
Game.
Rollerblade game?
Oh, what's
Roller
the thing?
Drome?
What were you shooting?
Rollerdrome was in
Was that
premium?
was it? I think it was.
I know there was that DKO game that came out this month, but that wasn't in a premium. That
No.
was just in a regular plus.
It was the car game. The racing car game. The car
Yeah,
where you
but that
can
was
battle
also in the plus though. That wasn't in the premium. So far, the only game to launch day one in the premium was Stray.
Well, there you go.
'Cause I think-
Yeah.
The thing with Game Pass is even outside of the first-party stuff, like this year, Xbox didn't release many or I think any first-party games. But we had like probably 100 day one games
Yeah.
on Game Pass. Like they constantly launch indies into Game Pass, as Dust Falls into Game Pass, second, third-party developer stuff into Game Pass. I think
Yeah.
that's the next step for the PlayStation. Because right now, I mean, as an outsider looking in, it's like an instant backlog.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
That's the
It's
good
really
thing
just a
about it, yeah.
backlog.
Like if you're not
And-
buying a lot of games, that's great for you. But if
Yeah.
you're buying and playing a lot of games, like I guess you could subscribe and like get rid of your physical copies and have a digital collection. But I imagine for somebody like us, you've probably played most of all those. Like every time they do those announcements and they're like, "Here's 10 games," you're like, "I
Yeah,
played all those already."
this is
Yeah,
why I have
old
not
game's
upgraded
old.
mine. Yeah, that's why I have just the essential, because there's literally nothing in these. Every time they release something, I see people being like, "Oh my god, this is a great month." I'm just like, I've played all of these.
It was in
games.
2017.
Right,
It's a
and
great
then the
month,
PS1 games, like I don't want to play those at all. So
Get to
Yeah, I
stream
mean,
some PlayStation 3 games.
I can understand for somebody who maybe is new to PlayStation and this is your first PlayStation console, or maybe you're a lapsed PlayStation like player, like you didn't have a PS4, then yeah, it's
think that-
great.
I don't know anything about TJ, but I mean, I think that average consumer, I always think of like my cousin who plays games. Like he has a
Mhm.
console, but he doesn't play games. He doesn't buy games. He buys like Call of Duty once a year.
Right.
Something like that makes a ton of sense. You can just subscribe for a month or so, play whatever your heart's
Yeah.
content. Yeah.
It's so funny that my friends that only really play Madden and Call of Duty, they don't even redeem their PS Plus games. So this is
Neither
not
do
for
I.
them.
Yeah, like when I had my console, I didn't for the longest time. Kevin used to always yell at me about that. He's like, "Why do you?" I'm like, "I don't." It got to the point where I was like,
play PlayStation.
"No, that's not it at all." I didn't want that. It's the same reason I don't. It's the same reason I don't redeem everything that's on the Epic Store. I don't want those games. I don't want them in my library. Like I don't even want to see them. I don't want to have to. When I'm searching for a game, I don't want to even scroll by it. It's like I don't even want to have to scroll by it. I'm just picky. Like if I'm never gonna play that and I have no interest, I won't even redeem it because I don't want to see
it. Them all, and they're all separated out. Like I don't even have to see the PS Plus games when I'm looking for
the Epic stuff. Starts tomorrow, right? I think the Christmas stuff starts tomorrow. So I'll be checking out the Epic Store every day until Christmas. But yeah, I won't claim stuff if I have no interest in it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I also think it makes sense to claim everything, right? Like get as much as you can for your subscription. But
I just claim
what happened to me is like, especially I think it's PlayStation 3. If you want to PlayStation 3 and Vita, man, you guys know how many times you guys switch consoles and you had to go into your library to go re-download something, and you're just scrolling through shit, just that whole PSN search through your library. I was like, oh my god,
I never had that problem.
Oh yeah, I've had it. I had a big time.
Yeah,
we talked about it a little earlier this year.
Yeah,
when I bought the PS3.
It was real bad. I remember for years I was like, why can't I just search? Why do I have this gigantic list? So I stopped adding things to the list.
Yeah. It's like 5,000 items in there.
Yeah, DLCs and unlocks, and I was
avatars,
fucking mess.
Which seems so anti to like your whole Steam thing of just collecting all the shit. It's so funny.
The stuff that Delvin has sent me that I've redeemed on Steam that I don't like, and Delvin knows I hide them.
Yeah,
I'll be like, you got me with this, but I'm never gonna see this shit again.
That's what I do with my PlayStation games. If it's something I'm not gonna play, or if it's a demo, I just hide them.
You could do that now.
You couldn't do that for a long time. Not on PS3, no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think I was conditioned to not. I think that's the point of what I'm saying is I think all the years of doing that, from switching Vitas and consoles and stuff.
Yeah, see, that's why you gotta stop switching all this shit, man. Just get one and keep it and stop. All right. I still have my original launch day PS3 and then a Slim. That's it. I never had to switch consoles.
You're so cool.
Good. We're good there. You gotta stop, Donnie. Just chill.
Yeah.
Man. Stop cycling them all out.
Different colors, different models.
No. It's like you in cars. You got to keep swapping them out every 6 months. I can't wait to see what your next car is going to be in June.
There's no next car.
Okay.
There's no money for the next car. There's absolutely no money for the next car. I have taken everything I can to afford this car. There's no next car.
You'll find a way.
Like sell the Ventura.
I'm not putting that past you.
Yeah, it's real nice. It's not going nowhere.
Geek to Me Radio says, what is a video game you strongly associate with the holiday season? That's a good question.
My answer is none. And I think we had this question before, maybe Thanksgiving. I don't play games that are like specific. It's not like Christmas. It's not like movies. I don't play Christmas games during Christmas. I play games that I want to play or haven't got to play because I'm off. Like I have holidays during Christmas. So for me, it's more about like using the time has nothing to do with the game. It could be a horror game, it could be a shooter, it could be a sports game. Like the game doesn't matter.
So the way I read this is not that. The way I read it is like a game that you either played and just when you think about it, it's associated with the holiday season.
Oh. I still don't think I have a good answer because it's just whatever I didn't play that year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that changes year to year. I don't know.
It's this game called NBA in the Zone. It was the first game I got on PlayStation 1.
I love that game.
Game was awesome. And it was the only game I had for Christmas, and I played the bejesus out of it with no memory card, so I couldn't even save my season.
Damn.
You needed memory cards. But I associate that with Christmas. That game was awesome.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that came out during Christmas. Maybe this year, maybe it'll be Sports Story. Maybe I'll start the tradition. They'll ever release the damn game. It's starting to really bother me, guys. It's like I've wanted nothing more to play this game all damn last 3 years, and it'll be out in December. Will it? They haven't tweeted. There hasn't been a thing. Nothing. Just no notice.
It's gonna be like Santa dropping something off in your chimneys real quick. Here you go.
Did anybody check? Has anybody gone back to the trailer and checked that it's not next December? It is this December.
Right? What about you, Delvin? Anything that you associate with the holidays?
Super Mario Brothers, the first one, because I remember getting that for Christmas.
Getting it for Christmas.
Yeah.
Makes
And
sense.
Gyromite. No, correction, Duck Hunt.
Gyromite. I remember that.
I got Gyromite after that.
You don't know what Gyromite is?
At a flea market.
Never heard that word.
You never heard of Gyromite?
Mm-mm. This is the first I've ever heard that word.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm being legit. I'm not lying.
Playing Nintendo. Never heard of Gyromite?
Fake
Yeah.
Poser. Caught me
Gyromite
exposed.
Is when Nintendo was experimenting with ridiculous stuff.
You don't
They
remember
had
Rob the Robot?
I never had one. I know of him, but
I mean,
never had one.
nobody ever had one.
Nobody
But
had
that's
one. Well, I
the
had
game. The game Gyromite came with Rob the Robot. It was a game that you needed Rob the Robot to play.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
When
I
you
never
had no
had.
friends, you played with Rob the Robot. That's what he was for.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm aware of the robot. I know what he does.
No.
I've never seen one. I've seen one in person, like in a like a glass case, like a museum. But I've never seen one out in the wild.
God damn, I feel old.
I know, right? I feel so old because
And
I had a few friends who had
I never had one.
Gyromite and Rob.
We've been over this,
man.
guys. You remember? I told you guys I didn't get my first NES until like 95, 96. Y'all done moved on. Like I
was on
got some
PlayStation
shit
at
out
that
of a
point.
pawn
PS1.
shop. I got some shit out of a pawn shop for $20 with Tecmo Bowl. Like we've already been over this. I was so poor. You're like, I had 8 friends that had a Rob the Robot. Yeah, nobody had video games to rob from, man.
I also
Not
forget
just
the
didn't
age
have
gap
Rob,
too.
Nobody
The
had
age gap.
games. Like we didn't have video. Nobody in the entire neighborhood had a video game console. We had to
You're right,
leave. You had to go to like
Rob
your
the Robot
cousin's
is a
house or some
museum.
shit.
Rob the Robot was at the Smithsonian. Next to the
I
Wright
don't
brothers
remember. I
Museum.
don't remember where I saw him. I think he was on display at like a video game convention or something. That was the first time I'd actually seen one like in person. It wasn't that long ago. It was definitely in the 2010s. The first time I'd actually laid eyes on one physically. I never even saw one like in stores.
Yeah.
Damn.
You made
Dev.
Dev leave.
Dev just quit. He just quit on the show. I was wondering if he's having issues. You see him, he's been looking off to the side for a bit. I was wondering if he was doing something like something's going on or something's not working. I was looking at Christmas themed video games, and they've got Miles, some Duke Nukem game, Dead Rising.
Oh yeah, Dead Rising.
Bayonetta. Bayonetta?
Bayonetta?
Bayonetta 2 is on Christmas.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep. Cave Story.
I always wanted to play that and never got around to it.
That's okay. So, Dev, you quit the show. I was like, I've never seen Rob physically, and you were like, fuck this show.
I'm not even so bothered by the fact that you've never seen Rob physically. I'm more like, how have you not heard of Gyromite? But again, I'm old.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I don't even have like even on my Shaq days, I'm playing Nintendo days, as you say it. I mean, I took so much shit for hating on the NES, like with Kevin and Jason. Like I've hated on the NES my entire life. The NES is like
games.
It's just a step up above Atari. Like all the shit I said about Atari, just repackage that shit and spin it again for the NES. Outside of like a few games, there's some great NES games, but there are a lot of bad NES games too. Like, they're not all
Dragon,
great.
Legend of Zelda. There's
there's
much
some good ones. Yeah,
there's a lot of good ones.
Mario 3, Tecmo, but like there's some great games. Super Metroid, there's great games.
There's no great games on Atari. That's the difference.
I'm sure there's something that's
like Atari is really just blips and bloops. Like
Jungle
NES is
There's a lot of
is
NES
way
games that are
better.
blips and bloops, though. There really are.
But
Like,
they're
there really
overshadowed by
are.
the games that are amazing. But
Okay.
there are also
Like-
a lot of really hard ass games, so I can understand why you would be not a fan of the NES.
That's not why at all. I don't think I even know. And you know what? The original Zelda, I think, is just like I have no want to play it because it just seems like just a pain in the ass to play.
The
Like-
original Zelda is so not a pain in the ass to play. It's Link to the Past.
Link to the Past is original
It's
Zelda.
basically that.
It's not.
Oh,
I've played
God.
it and it's not. It's not that.
It is.
Not,
It 100%
not basically
is.
that in no shape or form. Is it
is.
that?
It
Nope.
is that. It is you have
Maybe
an
in your
overworld,
mind.
you go to dungeons, and there's an underworld. It's the same shit.
It's not. It's the
Oh my
same.
God.
It's the
It's the
same. Shit. It's
same
not the same.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at screens of Gyromite. It doesn't look bad.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Took you like an
All
hour
right.
to get it started.
Right.
Had to blow on the cartridge
Really?
for like 30 minutes. Shit.
Yeah,
Had to
gotta
blow on the
blow
cartridge for like 30 minutes.
Put it
Then
under
you
your
press
shirt.
the thing there.
Put it in just enough to where you push it down. It kind of snaps in place.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like Mega Man.
I don't think I play it like Mega Man. Not at all.
No, I definitely don't think it played like it. I'm just
Yeah.
visually it
Trying to
kind of
remember.
looks like Mega Man.
It was kind of
Like the little structures and like the industrial rails and stuff kind of just reminds me of Mega Man.
Gotcha.
So B-Mox wants to know, what are we getting our significant other or others knowing gold coin for Christmas this year?
Ooh.
I don't have significant others.
Or others.
You've got others.
that
You've got
know
two.
you.
Plural.
Yeah.
No, you've got
I don't have.
plural. You were in a committed throuple relationship.
This is very true. We found this out last week. Yes,
I got my wife a bunch of shit. This year is a Christmas of quantity for her. I don't think she's listening. She don't stay up this late. So I make a joke with her. I tease her all the time. I don't know if your wife is this way at all, or anybody out there can sympathize with me. She's the worst about charging her goddamn phone, and drives me mad. And she, for whatever reason, she like buys a phone charger and transports it throughout the day with her. She takes it from the wall by her bed to her car, to her office, to church or to school, and back home again. And sometimes she leaves it in the car, and sometimes she leaves it at work, and then she steals mine, and it drives me nuts. Like, I can't live my life in this chaos that she does. When I buy something that I need chargers for, I buy like 5 chargers all the time. And I yell at her all the time. I'm like, we are not poor. Like, we have plenty of means to afford all the chargers you could ever need. Why do you live your life one charger at a time? Like, what are you, Dom? Like, what the fuck is this, the Dom Toretto of iPhones? Like, what the fuck is happening? And I always tease her about it, especially because she takes my chargers, and you can't. Hell hath no fury like me sitting down somewhere where I'm supposed to have a charger and I don't have one. That makes me very angry. What the fuck? I have specifically planned out my life to be able to charge my phone here. Where's my charger? So this year, as a gift, I bought her a base station for the bed that she can't take anywhere. Plugs into the wall. That's like magnetic, and she can stick her phone to it. And then she always yells at me every year, or not yells, it's teasing, she's done and joking. But she does, like, she makes fun of like the SNL skit. Nobody ever puts anything in mom's stocking because mom's in charge of the stocking. Like, she does the stocking. So we all get stocking stuff, and we don't ever put anything in her stocking.
Damn.
So this year I bought her like 6 phone chargers that I'm shoving her stocking. Along with like a necklace and perfume, and she's getting other gifts too. But it's like just kind of a joke gift that she's just getting a spa set and slippers. Like, she's getting a bunch of little stuff.
Yeah. You don't put stuff in your wife's stockings or the kids?
I never have. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
man.
It's just,
Always.
here's the thing. It never became a thing. Did you guys see the SNL skit last year?
No.
It was last year, maybe the year before that, with Kristen Wiig. There's like an SNL skit where all the families like singing all these gifts they got, and like mom just gets a robe, And like during the thing, the mom's like, "Oh, here's my flat stocking next to everybody else's." And my wife was like, she's like, "I think that every year." She's like, "Nobody ever puts anything in my stocking."
Wow. Interesting.
So I was like, apparently I need to start. Yeah.
I've always put stuff in. Like we always put stuff.
I'm
in
just
all
a
the
shitty
stockings.
husband.
No, because apparently it's a thing.
Yeah.
Because the SNL made a skit about it. I'm just unaware of this.
It was hilarious when that skit came out. That year we bought her a robe.
Oh, damn. It's like SNL just had a view right into your house and was like,
had us pegged.
That's crazy.
Got her more than that, but yeah, she did get a robe. She thought was very funny.
Yeah, I'm getting her. I don't know if she's here. You can hear me. Getting her some Air Max 90s. Not the ones that she was wanted because I cannot find them, but some that I think she'll appreciate.
Very nice.
Got her some earbuds because she keeps losing hers. And then gonna get her some perfume. And then also she gets to go to Texas. She gets to go to Houston to see all her friends. That's the real Christmas present. So
yeah. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Delvin?
Delvy?
I don't have a wife.
What you getting, Delvy?
She left.
Hey, we know
some significant others.
You're out here in the streets.
Yeah, you got some significant others.
I wasn't gonna put girl. I'm not gonna throw my man under the bus like that.
Thank you.
You never know who might be listening. Damn, Dev.
Exactly.
I mean,
Thank
look,
you, Donnie.
it's Delvy over here.
Just tell him, why don't you? God damn. Come on, man.
I don't know his life.
I also got her. My wife loves puns. She's terrible sense of humor. She likes to puns. So I got her this light up beanie that has Rudolph on it, and you press a button, the nose lights up, and the beanie says, "Oh dear." She's gonna love it. But yes, that's real stupid.
I'll tell you this. I got my ex a you ever seen those Disney purses they have now, those little Disney backpacks?
No.
That they have. You ever seen the Disney backpacks that people love? I think they're called loungewear or something like that.
Disney backpacks? How?
Never heard of it.
They're like
you're adults. Bought her a Disney backpack. It's not your third grader. What?
I'll get to it. But they're high quality, like Disney, like little backpacks that people are like all the crazy.
To replace a purse. Yeah. Instead of wearing a purse, you get your backpack. Yeah. Makes sense. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Disney.
I got her one of those.
Backpack.
No, you're searching the wrong thing. Just search for like Disney purse. Disney purse backpack.
Yeah. They have it with everything. They have it with like the Golden Girls and all of the characters. Yeah. I got her one of those with money in it. There you go.
What?
There you go. That's it.
You're calling me the snowman.
You're a sugar daddy.
I'm not handing people fucking bags of money for
You're a sugar daddy here. You're handing out what you're giving her a bag
of
with
money.
a bag in it.
Gift is a bag of money. You're literally giving her the bag.
And this is why it's a throuple.
Oh my god.
No,
wow.
It's not a throuple.
Yeah, it is.
Moving on.
This is kind of why I'm glad
I got bad news for that boyfriend of her.
Yeah,
you got to compete with this bag.
I don't think he realizes.
That's why he's so nice to me. Like, fuck it, I ain't got to deal with this. I ain't got to do it.
Wow.
Jonathan says, what do you plan on playing or catching up over the Xmas break? First and foremost, what the fuck is a Christmas break? I am an adult. I have a job. I don't get a Christmas break.
You have a government job. You get days off for Christmas.
No, we don't.
That's bullshit.
We get the day after Christmas if it's on a Sunday.
City of Bakersfield.
Yeah, go look at it. Go look at it. We have the 26th off. That's what we get off for Christmas. The 26th. That's it. I get one day. There's no break. There's no break. So to answer that, I'm not going to be catching up on anything because I don't have a break. It's just regular days. And I'm not taking a PlayStation. I'm not taking a console.
Yeah.
And those are days that I'm taking off as vacation days. It's not like I actually get a break. So.
I can't find a calendar.
You go to the city of Bakersfield. You
Your
can
website
find
is
the
not
calendar.
nearly as helpful as ours.
Oh, our website is trash.
It is so trash.
It's absolute trash.
Like, what is this?
Trash? Me trash?
Calendar of events?
Nah,
What?
Might be.
Employee resources? What? COVID resources? No, okay. I'm giving this
Yeah,
up.
it's
I'm not
a
going to keep
waste of
doing this
time.
anymore.
It's a waste of
Yeah,
time.
I'll let you have
Yeah.
this one apparently. So what day are you getting off? You
I
got
get
Monday
the
off?
26th. I have the Monday off, but I'm already going to be out of town. So
We have Friday, Monday off.
Yeah, we don't get both.
We have Friday, Monday off, and then I'll be down work on Wednesday. My boss will probably give us the next day, the 22nd off. We typically in our department we have continuity of operations exercises around holidays where we test everybody's ability to handle our continuity of operations plan and connect remotely.
Okay.
It's not an off day. We don't have an off day. It's a continuity of operations exercise.
Wow. What about you, Delvey?
I'm probably gonna have off that.
Dude, you could have
Saturday,
found the
Sunday,
calendar
Monday.
real easy.
I tried. I searched calendar.
There's a
I
little
searched
pull-out.
employee calendar and holiday calendar. And I have the calendar for the county, and there's nothing on the 26th listed. It just counts as facility meetings, planning commission meetings, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sorry, Delvin. What are you playing over the break? You gonna finish God of War for me?
God of War.
He said definitively.
Well, I'll probably have all my Christmas games there, but I'll be finished for God of War.
Yeah, those games will keep coming in.
He's playing.
Yep.
He's not playing God of War. He's playing everything else but.
Yep.
I can tell this funny story. So my ex comes in, right? And she's like, I got one of your Christmas gifts right here. It just came in the mail. You want to open it now? Like, no, because I can see right there on the side what it says. Because she didn't wrap it up. And she didn't realize the box has exactly what it is on the side of the box. So like, oh, I can no, I don't. You don't have to put it up because I can see right there what it says. It's the NBA Jam Arcade Countercade right there. Yeah, it says it right there. She's like, shit. I'm like, yeah, probably should have wrapped that up.
Yeah.
I mean, should she have? Because she said, "Do you want it right now?" Like, clearly, she didn't want to wrap it. She was just like,
"Yeah,
here you go."
But she was like, "I wonder if you can guess what it is." Like, no, yeah, it's right there. I can read it. I can read it right there. It's like clear.
Wow.
What do you hope you get for Christmas?
Shit, I don't know.
I
kind of want some turntables now.
You know what I want for Christmas? I want Delvin to release the tapes. That's what I want. I want Delvin to release the tapes.
Right? Justice for legacy.
You're gonna be disappointed for Christmas. Santa Claus don't give a fuck about you.
Damn.
What about you, Donnie? You want anything in particular?
No. I mean, I have a wish list of stuff that I put together, you know, but I don't think I'm like hoping for anything. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm more hoping that they don't get me anything. Like, just don't.
I mean, I'm sure they'll get me something. I mean, yeah, you'll get something. They'll get me something. My father-in-law will give me some tool I'll never use. You know what? Speaking of that, on my wish list, I have a portable power station, like a car jump starter. Mm-hmm. And I kind of hope I get that because between my lawnmower, my work car, the Sable, the cars that often don't get driven enough, I'm constantly having to jump them off because they'll sit a couple months, you know, without them being driven. Yeah. And it's like, it's such a pain in the ass to pull out the cables and get the cars rearranged and all that. It's like, I would much love just to have a little power pack I can just pull out every now and again. But yeah, I don't really have any game stuff on my wish list this year. Just a bunch of movies. Just a bunch of movies.
Nice. Okay, moving through these questions. Greg, he says, I'm new to the show. He wants to know, how do we become friends, and do we have any non-gaming hobbies besides Donnie and his cars?
You shut your mouth. you watch your damn mouth. Yeah. How do we become friends?
I guess married to the games? I'd have to say that's probably the catalyst, right?
And it's an origin point.
Yeah.
It's like the Big Bang. There's like pre-MTTG and then there's post-MTGG. For new listeners, I started PSVG years ago. I think we started in 2015. Because I used to listen to a podcast at the time called Married to the Games. They're still going great. You can go listen to them. Okay, good podcast. And I used to just disagree with them all the time.
All the time.
And I would always be in their forums letting them know why and stuff. And I think it's not just like, it wasn't like a personal thing with them. I think it was just back then there wasn't a bajillion million gaming podcasts like there are now.
Mm-mm.
There are literally, you could throw a stone and hit 1,000 gaming podcasts. They're everywhere.
Yep.
Back then, we all kind of listened to like probably the same 15 or 20 gaming podcasts. And at the time, I personally just felt like either I hadn't found people that liked or thought about games like I did, or weren't conveying it in a way that I thought I would. And I was like, I can't, like if nobody out there is kind of saying like, and not just like an opinion, I think maybe more like in a how I would do it. And if the people weren't doing it, I just kind of thought maybe I'd be good at it.
Yep.
So that's when I started PSVG. It did come out of a culmination of a disagreement with Married to the Games. That was kind of like I should really just do this. They left Zelda off their game of the year list that year. I was like, I really should just do this.
I was tired of the Nintendo slander.
So yeah. And I started it, and I just started reaching out to, I wouldn't even call us friends at that time. Just people that I had come across in forums that I thought had good gaming opinions. And I have always tried to, and this is true, very true, I've always tried to surround myself in PSVG with people that think differently than me, like actively. I've never wanted somebody sitting across from me that just agreed with everything I said. Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, that's boring.
Yeah. So I'd definitely look out. I think that's why you see like I would say for a long time, we had a very PlayStation focus, or at least a lot of PlayStation centric people. And a lot of times it was just pitting people to foil against me. I thought it'd make for a good conversation.
Yeah.
So that's where Dev comes from and most of PSVG, but I didn't meet Delvin until way after. I don't even know. Delvin, did you even do Married to the Games?
No, I met you because I listened to Married to Games.
But at that time, did you? Because I don't recall you being in the forums.
I did.
But I also wouldn't have recognized Gold Coin.
Right. I don't think it was in the forums, but I do remember like Twitter. I remember seeing him on Twitter, and that's how, I don't even know how, but just through all of the weird little indie podcasts, like people following each other. I know me and Donnie, I would talk trash to him in the forums.
Yeah. Yeah. Me, you, Kev, Jason, Nathan, Kyle all come from that area.
Yes.
And the other people were kind of ancillary. They were kind of like out in separate orbits out there beyond that. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but I think mostly that's the case. Delvin, I met because Delvin asked me to be on his podcast. So I got one of those DMs one day, and I don't even think I even knew who you were. It literally was like a stranger meeting. I think Nathan was like, hey, I've got this friend. You should go on. And just kind of started from there.
One of the first guests on my podcast ever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Nathan was like, hey, you should go over here. And he had me on. So because we were on and we met each other, of course, we followed each other. And we just kept pinging back and forth. We'd share stuff. I think you'd guest appeared over here. I guest appeared over there a few times. And then as we had people cycle in and out, I reached out to Delvin. I was like, hey, we're looking for podcasters to fill shows. And Delvin was just like, what about me? I honestly, knowing Delvin and all the shows he does, I didn't even think to ask because I didn't even think he'd be interested. But yeah, once he raised the smoke, I was like, well, yeah, absolutely. Delvin come over. And it's so funny for this show specifically because Delvin is who vouched for Elaine to join Empire, which became this show, and then Delvin more or less replaced Elaine here.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's a long con you played on Elaine. Well, I'm gonna get you.
Oh man. Yeah. God, it feels like I've known you guys for so long I can't even remember how we all met.
Seriously, I mean, I think
Like
I've been doing Married to the
Big
Game
year.
since 20. I remember listening to them mostly in college. So that put me like 2011, 2012. And I don't really listen to the show much anymore. But you know, like I went to Married to the Games 200, and I was there, and
I
like
remember that being a thing.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, I've just known them and their community and most of those folks for almost a decade now. They had
so
seriously,
That's
Dev
so
and
crazy.
I've known Dev like, and when I say known, I've speaking with Dev since I think 2014, maybe 13.
Something like that.
Since the Wii U launch, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people that know me from Married to the Games know me because of the Wii U launch. Like that's what they associate with me when they know my handle and stuff. And that 2013. So probably the lead into that. Probably E3 before the Wii U launch is probably when Dev and I first hooked up.
Yep.
So that probably dates us back to 2012.
So crazy.
And that'd be the same
Delvin-
for Jason and Kev and Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
I don't
10
even
years.
remember how I met you. I don't know.
Probably through Chalfie.
Chalfie is
Because I was
probably the
cool.
one.
I was really cool with Chalfie, Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, and Sean Capri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me and Bobby used to talk all the time. Like that was our thing. Like even probably not even about video games, just about boxing and all kind of crazy stuff. So me
Yeah.
and Bobby was real tight at one point in time.
I never talked to Bobby. Never got
I
a
didn't
chance.
talk to Bobby or Sean, and Sean was in the Married to the Game stuff, and we just never really crossed paths. I think until I did the Nintendo Shack. It wasn't until I started Nintendo Shack that we started running those circles. But and one of my favorite things, since we're just here talking about Bobby, one of my favorite things that I remember telling about it when we were raising money for him and stuff is, I also, I don't know, I won't say I talk to him all the time, but Bobby and I used to be in frequent contact, and I have I still have my DMs with him, and we didn't talk boxing, we just talk shit about people. We were just really good shit talkers. So I have a huge DM with Bobby, just talking shit about all kinds of people. After his passing, I found a lot of fun and kind of just, peace. I would share that stuff, privately, but I'd share it with Sean, and Chase.
Yeah.
Like, look at the shit he was saying.
Chase.
It's interesting. You see how many people, and obviously, I wouldn't hold him against that, but you see a lot of people really upset and tweeting and all that, and it's really nice. But a lot of that stuff he was talking about, those people, I'm not gonna lie, sweet people.
I think I may have sent Sean Capri one or two of those.
Yeah,
me and Bob was talking about it. Yeah,
it was a lot of Nintendo chat. It was a lot about like his work life, my work life, and just a lot of just shit talking.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, me and him talked about everything because we were like, me and him are older, close to the same age, so we talked about like
wrestling,
boxing.
Yeah, I talked wrestling with him a bit.
Politics a lot because we can have conversations about anything pretty much. So that was our thing.
That's awesome.
Talked about Sean Capri a lot. He loves Sean Capri.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he would always
Sean
talk
Capri.
about things with Sean.
I mean, who doesn't? It's a Canadian
Right.
Bob Hope.
Yeah,
Basically.
Mhm.
I agree.
So
I told him
hobbies
that, and he was
outside
like, I told him that, and he was like, "Who's Bob Hope?"
of course.
God damn
Of course. Of course. Canada. So hobbies outside of cars, I like building computers. That's my only real other hobby outside of,
I could just dismiss my
Games.
cars like that. Damn.
because I'm getting mine out the way because it's simple. I just like building computers. What about you outside of cars? Any other hobbies?
Not much. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I used to disc golf, used to work out a lot. Obviously, you can see that I don't do that anymore. I was talking to my kids about this over dinner tonight. When I was younger, I used to go out a lot. Not even Married to the Games days or early PSVG days. I would go out a lot. The older that I get, like the more I retreat into myself.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's normal, but like my daughter, we're talking about Disney World and stuff like that. My daughter went to Disney World last year, and I'm like, I have no interest of going to any place like that. Like zero.
Yeah.
Like the ideal perfect vacation for me right now is I probably like rent a house on the beach and that beach be empty. Like
Yeah.
nobody there. So yeah, I don't really do much anymore. I play video games and I watch movies and I really like to hang out at home. I think maybe the car thing, and I'd be putting words in her mouth, but I think my wife really likes that I've got into the car thing because I think I've said this a bunch. Like I've got my best friend, but we don't go out. Like we don't go out
Right.
and watch a game or go out to eat or anything. Like I haven't seen him in probably 6 or 8 months. Like we're really close friends. We keep in contact, we text and stuff like that. But like we're not going out. I don't go out and meet people or see stuff. It's like the only time that I really get out now or lately is when I go to the shop. I go to the shop because you guys know this, the listeners don't know this. I do the shop's website and stuff for them now. So I'm not like a part of the team, but I'm kind of like a part of the team. I'm like a stepchild there. So I just go to the shop just to hang out. It's not even about my car. Half the time I don't even talk to them about my car. I talk about all the other cars that they have in the shop. So I think my wife kind of takes that about it. But yeah, outside of that, I really don't do much. I like to be at home.
What about you, Delvin? You're the free spirit now.
Well, besides
He's the
video
opposite.
games.
Delvin's going. He's out.
Going to all the comic shows and
Streets.
where are you going? Like you're not going to you're in Miami, but you be going places. Where you headed to now? I'm sure you got some travel plans coming
worldwide.
No, not really. Well, I can't talk about that shit. I'm into like comic books.
Self-incrimination.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into comic books, so I go to comic book conventions and stuff like that. I'm into wrestling. I go to a lot of wrestling shows. I went to.
How was the Impact show? We didn't even talk about
cool.
that. You went to the Impact show.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's weird because
you were one of 25 people in the room.
Not only that.
The indie show I went to looks like the crowd was bigger than most Impact shows.
I'm noticing, well, especially going to an Impact show, looking at certain wrestlers, I'm like, you're not too much bigger than me.
Yeah.
And it feels like that.
Especially
like, I feel like
at an indie show.
Yeah. I feel like when I went to like the AEW show and even the WWE shows,
dude,
they felt a little larger than life, a little bigger.
People give Vince McMahon shit for wanting big dudes. And that's why he wants you to be impressed when you go to the show. Yes. It's like a carnival thing. He wants you to see the circus and be like, holy shit, look how big he is. He doesn't want you to see somebody you're like, I could take him. That's not the impression he wants you to have.
Yeah, because I'll give you a good example. I want to call nobody out, but Bully Ray was there.
Yeah.
And I was ringside. I look at Bully Ray, I'm like, he's like the same size as me. It's not too much. He's like a little taller, but looks like if you're looking at Bully Ray, like, we're like the same size. He doesn't look as menacing as you would expect. He's like a regular guy. But it was I can't remember the guy name. The guy's named Shearer. He's not like a big guy in Impact. He's not a major player. He looked huge. He stood out to me. I want to say he was the one who really stood out to me because he's like 6'7". He looked like what I expect other wrestlers
to look like.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Like, oh shit, he's huge. But for the most
sense.
part, everybody looked like all right. He's like regular people I would see on the streets. They had some great matches. I feel like nobody you would know now because Impact is not like it was.
I knew Bully Ray was there doing some sort of return run, but I'm not watching. I haven't paid any attention. Yeah. I just knew he
Bully
was there,
Ray was
like
there.
A YouTube clip.
Tommy Dreamer was there, so that was cool.
Oh God,
Tommy Dreamer.
I can't imagine a least impressive wrestler at this point in time than Tommy Dreamer.
Trying to think who else was there that you would know. I think there's too many people. Moose.
Yeah, of course.
But like they don't have the people that you would recognize.
He needs to go somewhere else.
No, you know who I think the biggest name probably there was Mickie James.
Oh yeah, I love her. Who doesn't?
Met her. She was great.
Yeah, Mickey's
she was amazing. I got a picture with her and everything. She stayed
She's
out
better
the
wrestler than
show.
Mandy Rose.
Yeah. I'm gonna comment Mandy Rose.
I
Yeah, we don't
don't
have to
even
comment
know
on it.
who that is.
Everybody
I
loves
only
Mandy
know
Rose.
about Delvin's tweet that he put out.
They love her
earlier.
now
Oh, that's
because
a
of
shame.
her thirst traps. But that's,
Oh, they
I
love
mean,
her.
I don't want to say that's all she put in work and all that, but she's just not a very good wrestler.
She's okay.
It is what it is.
She got a lot better in NXT, which
Okay.
she's no longer at now.
She's not that great.
I agree.
Mickey James is way better. Mickey James today is way better.
Well, yeah. Mickey James
Not even the
today
Mickey James of yesteryear. Mickey James today is a better wrestler.
Mickey James today is pretty good.
And
I see her
it's
match.
interesting with women wrestlers. Obviously, like that's always been a thing with looks and valets and Miss Elizabeth and Sable and stuff like that. So Mandy Rose isn't doing anything that people before haven't done. But like my bar for entertainment on women wrestlers and athletes is just so much higher than Mandy Rose. Like, we just have so much better to choose from. It's just not like just having a really beautiful woman is not enough for me to be interested in them as a wrestling character.
I agree. We have Sasha Banks now. We have a lot
Right.
of women's wrestlers.
Yeah. Like we've got Charlotte and Rhea Ripley and, like Becky Lynch. Like you gotta be like, there's a lot of pretty women. You gotta be better than that.
I agree.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get some Christmas stuff out of the way. Court Lalonde, since I'm not going to butcher your name, Lalonde. He says, "What are your favorite with a U holiday movies this time of year?" I feel like we did that. Didn't we do that? We did favorite Christmas, like favorite holiday movies.
Christmas Story, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
It's always
he also wanted to know, why do you hate Canada, Donnie?
I don't. It's just a him thing. At this point, it's just personal.
He just hates you. Court. That's what it is.
Yeah. We were on Sweet Hangs. I talked to Sean about hockey for like 40 minutes. I actually know some hockey. Not recently, but
talking shit about the US.
Oh, does that surprise anybody? I mean,
I had to defend our country. Me out of all people.
Did you?
I sent him that awesome bowling TikTok. It's way better than anything the Stanley Cup's produced in years.
You're not wrong.
I didn't even know hockey was playing. Like Sean was like, "I'm watching the Fly." I was like, "That's
it's on. Hockey is happening right now."
Yes,
I did not know they were.
And it has been. See, that was me on Sweet Hangs. I was like, I'm not even throwing stones. Literally, did not know it was even going on. That's how out of sight, out of mind it is. That sport has fallen on hard times in terms of notoriety, right? In terms of mind.
They need Wayne Gretzky back.
They need a star. They need and they need something to break through. They need a good rivalry, a good championship.
Is that not Ovechkin? Isn't like Ovechkin supposed to be the West Gretzky?
He was.
He like
wasn't
chasing
15 years ago.
That long? Well, I didn't know that. I know he's chasing.
Been around
Gretzky's
for a while, man.
Record. Look, man, hockey ain't been nothing to me since NHL '94, so I can't call it.
And didn't Ovi just did something? He just had like 20,000 points or something. What's a thing I saw?
I don't.
Yeah, but him and Crosby, they were like the last great hype, and then it just kind of, went away.
Hear me out. They need to get a golden retriever and teach them how to play hockey. Like Airbud.
You're gonna airbud this situation?
Ice Bud.
That's what you want to do? Ice Bud?
Ice Bud.
Jesus. I'll take a Bud Ice.
Just have to have Court Lalonde back to tell us what it's all about.
All about. When I saw the U in favorite, I was like, they really be putting U's in every word. Like, God.
You see the sticker I wanted to get, Sean? Did you see that TikTok?
Mm-mm.
I found a sticker on TikTok that says "fuck a boot, find oot."
That's hilarious.
Very good. Very good.
Haley wants to know gingerbread or shortbread?
Gingerbread.
Gingerbread, hands down.
1,000 times.
Question.
Yeah, it's not
I
even
don't think
close.
I've ever tried gingerbread.
I was surprised to see people talking about it in the Discord. I was like, "This is," and it was so funny because apparently we're on the outs on this one. Everybody was like, "It's easily shortbread." I was like, "Said nobody."
I
Said
don't think
nobody
so.
ever.
I think there was only 2 people that actually voted for shortbread, and that was BMOX, who I'm gonna say that's got to be some English thing, it's
American Psycho.
it's
Lighthouse,
nonsense. Yeah,
shortbread.
but other than that, it
I never
seemed
tried
like
gingerbread.
How have you never had gingerbread?
Dude, gingerbread, ginger house, ginger snaps. Come on,
Nah.
how's it possible?
Ginger beer, like
I had
Anything with
beer.
ginger
I
in
had-
it is better. Like just yeah.
ginger is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've had gingerbread.
I agree.
Well, you
I've
need to
had
go ahead
shortbread.
and fix
They're
that.
pretty good.
Ugh.
Don't the Girl Scouts have shortbread
Cookies are
cookies?
that's just basic.
It's just
That's
basic cookies, yes.
Yeah, that is the vanilla ice cream of cookies.
Basically.
No, I
You
like
need to go
the
get you some gingerbread tomorrow. Like that is your mission for this week. Go find you some
He's
gingerbread.
alive and well. Like I know it's going. I don't know if it's well.
He also said people like gingerbread. His mind is blown. So you like hockey and you're
What?
rooting against gingerbread. This is nonsense, AJ. This is
Gingerbread's
shenanigans.
amazing. Who doesn't like gingerbread? They're like, this is blowing my mind.
I've never met anybody who doesn't like gingerbread either.
I love
is shenanigans. It's amazing.
Dude, freshly baked, like warm.
Oh,
That's good stuff.
Where do
yeah.
you even find gingerbread like freshly baked at? Is that a thing that people go
Make it.
find in the stores?
You make it.
You cook.
I ain't making shit. That's not.
Well, get
Like,
somebody from
you
your
hear
circle
what-
to make it.
Delvin's statement was totally said by somebody who like apparently has never cooked. Like
Yeah.
he didn't think to cook it. His thought was, where
Where
do
do
I
you get it?
go to order or get?
You think I want to make
Gingerbread.
fucking bread?
Have you ever had like gingerbread cookies, like ginger
No.
snaps?
You need to get some
The
ginger.
little gingermint, like
I
you can get the
love
little
Those
the
are
little
so-
gingerbread chessmen from Pepperidge Farms. The little cookies are amazing.
yeah.
Nope, never tried any of those.
So it's time to change that.
Ginger's great. Ginger beer, gingerbread. I'll take ginger
I
women.
had ginger beer before.
All of it's good. It's all
Ginger
good.
women.
Yes,
All
correct.
across the
Nope,
board.
nope. You shut up,
Yep.
Devin.
Donnie is
I say
correct.
Ginger women.
On point.
That's where it's at.
On point. AJ wants to know, AJ Pentecost, he says, with the holidays and New Year's right around the corner, what fictional bar would you like to have a drink at? And bonus question, what fictional character would you take with you?
Like the Call of Duty best mustache answer, I think I have the answer for this. It's pretty good. But before I even go there, I want to ask you guys this because this is something, this is a topic of conversation that I bring up with my wife and my wife's family. In Ohio and in Columbus and in Cleveland, there were bars. I frequented them many times with my mom. Real bar establishments like Cheers, like How I Met Your Mother, like Sunny in Philadelphia, like all of it. Bars, like a place you go to, wood, tables, a bar, order drinks. That's it. Not in a bowling alley, not with like a dance floor. Like, I don't really find those in Georgia. It's not like a thing here.
Really?
Here, bars are kind of like what people call bars here. I would either call a restaurant or a club. There's music, there's dance floors, there's like weird furniture, or they're like attached to a bowling alley, they're attached to a restaurant. It's not what I think of when I think bars. Like where I
No
come
dive
from,
bars, huh?
they may have been an old thing, but yeah, like there were neighborhood bars.
Yeah.
Like in walking distance.
Yeah.
Like we went to bars. You place bets there. They may have like a little game or something, but it is a bar. That was the function of the establishment. It was just a bar.
Yeah.
That's not really a thing here.
That's crazy. Man, there's so many dive bars and stuff like that. Like we used to go to there was so many when I was in college in Northridge. There was one called Witch's Brew that we went to that was like around the corner. There was like this Irish bar that was down the street. That there was a lot of bars that we would just go to the bar. Go play
I wanted to ask you if maybe it was like a dying thing or a regional thing, or I don't know, but like here everything is like bars are like I would call them clubs. Fancier than what I would consider a bar.
Interesting.
We have pubs down here. We have a few pubs, and we have like
when you say pub,
bar.
Do you mean restaurant?
No, it's like a pretty much a bar, but it's
Okay.
a fancier bar.
Because there are pubs in Atlanta, but I wouldn't like if I was talking to somebody, I wouldn't tell them that it's a bar because
Right.
it's clearly a restaurant. They have tables, they have waitresses, they serve you food.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's not a bar. That's not a bar.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We had a
Like,
bar
we
that
have
we
like
used to.
You could get food at a bar. It might be like a sandwich or chips or peanuts.
Right.
But you don't have. There's
Yeah.
no cook at a bar. There's
Yeah.
no chef.
yeah, that's the thing. It's a pub. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, like you
Yeah,
come-
nah. We had this one bar that we used to go to after work when I was working at Best Buy that had Rock Band set up. So we would go there, get drinks, and play Rock Band after work.
Yeah.
It was just
Darts.
a bar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe a pool table. Yeah, like that's a
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a thing here. I've seen. I'm not saying it's not a thing. Like I've seen them, especially I think College Town have a bar. Athens has bars. Chatham, like on the Riverwalk has a bar. They're like touristy. It's just not the same. It's not what I think of. Like in Columbus, there are bars everywhere. Or at least there was when I lived there. There were bars everywhere. Like neighborhoods have bars, streets have bars. A lot of times they're in the basement of apartment buildings and on the corners and carry outs and stuff like that. Like what I think of like traditionally, like in Cheers, what do you think of when you think of a bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have any of those out here in Bakersfield, but I also haven't gone looking for them. But I know where to find them in LA. And like AJ said, come to California. We have all the bars. We got all kind of bars.
If they were more frequent here, I think I would actually go to them. Like I would get out more maybe if I could just go somewhere and like watch the game and have a drink. Like I can go do that here, but you got to go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or Applebee's or something, and like that's a whole separate scene, and I don't want all that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what fictional bar would you go to?
I have two answers. Do you either of you have an answer?
Only one I can think of is Cheers.
Oh
So,
wow!
You don't have to.
Well, I have an answer, by the way.
Okay. I
have an
talked a bunch.
I would go to Moe's Tavern.
Okay,
I would
very
go to
good.
Mr. Crab.
With Mr. Crab.
Mr. Crab. So you're buying him his drinks, is what you're saying, because he's not paying for anything.
Of course, it's going to be a hilarious conversation.
I love money.
I'm talking about money.
What can I get for a penny?
Delvin, you're really into SpongeBob.
I love SpongeBob. SpongeBob's great.
Yeah, like borderline like Disney parents. Like he's a SpongeBob parent, man. He is into SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is dope.
He's getting the games, get all the things.
Early season. I got what's the last game that came out? The Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Sure.
Yeah.
They were selling the special edition that comes with the big SpongeBob statue. I got that for like $20. It's upstairs.
Well, I expect to see that statue next year in frame on the podcast.
I'll bring it down. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, we just got to get you a nice bookshelf or something behind you.
Yeah.
You got to get the gamer cubes going.
You keep saying this is your grandma's office, but you always in it.
Statues and stuff in it.
Yeah. That'll be something.
My answer, the answer I wanted to give, especially for Dev, is the titty twister.
From Dust to Dawn.
Of course.
Huh.
That's a good one.
My other answer would be the Winchester. Shaun of the Dead.
I was gonna say that sounds familiar. I couldn't place it. Oh, Shaun of the Dead. That was such a good movie.
Of course, yeah.
Oh man, it's a great movie.
But the very first thing I thought of, especially for you, was Selma Hayek. I was like, well, of course.
Yeah, that didn't even cross my mind. Didn't even pop in there.
Gotta fly down, drive down.
Yeah, I ain't going there. It's vampires. I'm not going.
I was gonna say that. Like,
vampires.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. It can be how they want to be. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm going to Cheers because why not? Who am I taking with me though? I mean, everybody's with me. Walking, hey, Devin. Yeah, absolutely. I'm here for that.
Character, I can't take somebody in real life. I'll take Rio for drinks.
I guess she is a character.
I
guess that works.
Ria's not her real name.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go hang out with from a video game.
Didn't say it'd be a video game, just a fictional character.
Fictional character.
That's probably still for me, probably a video game. Yeah, I don't know. Nate? Could hang out with Nate Drake over a beer. Wouldn't be too bad.
I'm good on Nate. He can kick rocks.
He's gonna take your wallet.
He ain't got nothing in it. Like he's the
Yeah,
one
he
going
can
all
have
over
it.
the world and shit.
Right.
Gold coins and stuff. Like, I'm just,
That motherfucker go try to pay for his bar tab and doubloons and shit. What the fuck is this?
this is Macedonian silver. Like, what the
So we accept cash here. Look at this shit.
bartenders? It's $7.50 American. I'll go out
Yeah.
drinking with Fetch.
Yeah, that's a
That
good
could
one.
be cool.
Fuck yeah.
She might not drink though. She's trying to stay sober.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I'm not going drinking with Ellie. That's too much.
no.
She'd be
no.
crying and shit.
Crying and
Telling you all her sob stories of problems and doing all that mess. Travis. Yeah, I'd definitely go drink with Travis. Travis touchdown.
that could be cool.
Going to the Winchester with Travis touchdown.
I could go drinking with Dina. She seemed like she'd be a good time.
Sure. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I'd have drinks with Joel.
Nah, I'm good.
Fuck yeah, I would. Get in a bar fight with Joel. Good.
That'd be cool.
Like my chances.
Nah. What about you, Delvin? Who you drinking with?
Let's see who else I can drink with. That'd be cool.
Oh, you said Mr. Krabs. Never mind. You can have
Mr.
your
Krabs,
Mr.
of course,
Krabs.
yeah.
That is just that's something.
Just cartoon character.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Mr. Krabs.
I'm gonna go drink with Kratos because then I ain't gotta talk. I can just sit there and drink. That'd be
Dev,
good.
drink.
Mm-hmm. Beer. That's it. It'd be good. Oh, you'd like Thor in this game too. I think you would really.
Yes.
You're gonna if you ever play it. If it comes to PC, you'll appreciate Thor.
Well, now that you said Thor, I would like to take Eivor out for drinks. You do that in Valhalla anyway. You just definitely go drinking.
There you
I
go.
would definitely go skull with. That'd be the shit.
There you go. Okay. All right. Is there any more Christmas questions here? All right. This is the last Christmas question. Jeremy says, does anyone take vacations on Christmas? My wife and I like to get out of Dodge East Christmas to somewhere warm. Travel, rooms, food is never cheaper than over Christmas.
Sounds like one of our co-hosts here.
I don't want to take vacation on Christmas.
You're the one going to
Yeah.
Houston, man. What are you looking at us like we don't?
That's
you're the one
not a
going out.
regular thing. This is the first time we've ever
You go to
traveled for
Houston a lot.
Christmas.
That is somewhat of a regular thing
Not for Christmas. This is the first.
for
It's
Christmas.
First and probably only.
How is it working? Are you getting like cheap tickets and stuff? Is that working out?
Heck no. Ain't nothing cheap.
Oh, shit. That's-
Oh shit.
you need to get with Jeremy. Apparently, Jeremy
Yeah.
knows how to do this.
No, airfare was ridiculously expensive for 4 people, and we're flying Spirit too. So
Damn.
yeah,
Oh,
it was
you-
not.
My wife says Spirit is like the most rickety.
It is, but at least it's only a 3-hour flight, so it's not like we're going
Sure.
far. So that's fine. And then the rental car was not cheap. So
you
I imagine
established.
prices. I mean, I guess I've always thought that they're somewhat seasonal, but I imagine prices for like airfare is going to be pretty much stagnant, right? Like the price is the price. It didn't get cheaper.
no, it
by the year.
it gets expensive. Like you book early, like way early, it's cheap. The closer you get, the more expensive it gets. It's always super expensive over the holidays. It's always super expensive, like during
Yeah, I'd
Thanksgiving,
imagine-
Christmas.
That's what I was thinking because he was like over vacation. I imagine a lot of people are traveling
Yeah,
during Christmas, but they're not traveling to like resorts. They're traveling to family.
yeah.
You know, they're not.
I mean, if it was just me and my wife and we had no kids, it'd be a different story. But I gotta buy 4 plane tickets.
You can tell I clearly don't vacation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my answer is no. Like I said earlier, I like to stay home. I don't want to drive 2 hours to see my in-laws, let alone go to Florida or Cuba or something. Like I'm trying to stay in the bed.
Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm doing this for my family, for my
for the
wife and my
sheets.
kids. I'm good.
Not the streets.
Yeah,
I'm good. I've spent a lot of money and like almost all of my adult income on making my home the place that I want to be. Like I'm trying
that's
to make
exactly
this.
how
the
it
same
should
way.
be. I
That
don't
I
want to
wanna
go
stay.
nowhere.
I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah, my wife always wants to go on vacation. I'm like, okay, we'll go for you. But my idea of an ideal vacation is the Al Bundy vacation. You wall off
Yeah.
a section, you tell everybody leave me alone. I'm gone. I don't need to go anywhere.
I like
Everything I
staycations.
want is right here.
We've done it a few times. I like to do it when the kids are in school, and we just take like a week off, and we just have a week off together. We go out and eat, we go shopping and stuff, but we don't go nowhere. We're just home. We just sleep in. It's a nice little kind of get together.
My kids are not old enough for that yet.
You're getting there.
So I gotta get up and take them to school and get them fed and dressed and stuff.
Yeah.
My daughter is getting there, but my son is still he's not there yet.
Joe says flying is an absolute nightmare during the holidays.
Not looking forward to it.
I mean, that's what Kevin McAllister's family told us.
Yeah,
and they were
flight
rich.
is super early in the morning. I think our flight is at like 5 a.m. So that should be nice.
Your kids fly well?
They fly all right. Yeah, they're fine. Hudson has his switch. My daughter will read a book or something. They'll be fine.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a 3.5 hour podcast, and I'm sure my wife is cursing my name at this point because she wants me to come get the children and take them out of our bed where I'm sure they're asleep. So, from our family to you guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see y'all in 2023.